2, 3, 4. Cheech and Manny Show. Cheech and Manny Show.
Yeah. So Joe, what do you got there?
This is the Jimmy Page coffee table book that I have that has some great photos in there of Jimmy's life. He didn't want to do an autobiography. He considers this to be his autobiography, a life in pictures. And there were really some cool pictures of Roy Harper with Jimmy Page
He took
about
the
their
he,
friendship.
he took the photojournalistic approach. I like that.
Right, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I know
That cover is pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh
that
wow.
and it's iconic Zozo, right?
Yeah, the
Apparently,
1977 tour, the white dragon suit.
Doesn't
Yeah.
even look like him. It's a weird picture.
this dude had swagger, man.
Oh man, he was the best.
Coolest guy. Talking about
Well,
he I think rock and roll.
Oh yeah, yeah.
well,
And then,
in 1977, Jimmy was in a bad place physically, self-induced. All right, so what are we gonna do?
okay. So we are going to talk about ready. Okay, so and guys, welcome back. Sorry, we were just talking about Joe's book. If you're joining us, thank you for joining us. You guys rock. We love you. Today we're gonna pave the way for the Americans. We're gonna make the path narrow and straight for Mr. Roy Harper. And we've
Yes.
already done episodes on him, but this is
Yeah.
now we're going to take a deep dive. And Professor Cheech here did um did the research in the background for this album. And we got a visiting professor, Mr. Joe Silkman, on too. He's in the college what we call them visiting professors. They're professors in residence. So we're gonna be talking about uh Roy Harper's Stormcock, which is really funny because he became a joke
Yeah.
when we first introduced him. But we've come such a long way and realized the album is actually pretty
He's
amazing.
genius. Yeah. And
Genius album.
what a genius Roy Harper is. That's
Yes,
if
yes,
anything,
yes, yes. And
I,
then
I
before
think
we start, let me throw it to my esteemed co-host and Pottersfield BX bassist, Cheech Carrera.
yes.
Cheech, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Just throw a little shout out for Potter's Field. We had a great show the other night at Freebirds. I think I sent you guys
Saw you guys,
some.
yeah. I'm gonna
That's
try
some
to, man, I'm trying to figure out how I can put footage on or something.
yeah.
Like kind of cut here and put that footage as we
I
could
I
see.
sent you that really killing guitar player with the house band. That guy was good.
Oh, that guy's really good. The guy who did Jimi
Uh,
Hendrix covers, right?
yeah, yeah. And we had a really good set. There's a bunch of videos Bobby put out. And then we're going to be at Prohibition in Massapequa, Long Island on April 29th, Wednesday at 10 o'clock, 109 Front Street in Massapequa, Long Island. Great little, like, old school CBGB's type of bar, actually. So looking forward for that.
That's
And it
awesome.
was funny how they introduced us on Sunday. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, here we go. We're going from Woodstock to now Potter's Field. Get ready for the CBGB sound." It's like,
How
oh,
wait,
boy.
how was the audience? Did you guys
We had a pretty good, people, it's hard because some people are just like shocked at what they're seeing. It's, you know what I mean? They're like, because like going on after, like a Hendrix band, and then here we go up there cranking out Fat
yo,
Chicks,
you
rock.
but you guys are doing original tunes.
Yeah, and we're
I mean,
loud and we're like coming at you like all we fucking got. Like we're like this is like
I
we're
love
playing
Bobby
for our
because
life.
as a frontman, all right, you guys want some rock and roll? Like he has that.
Oh, he gives you the show.
He's a good hype man.
We're doing the show for you. Most of the bands are up there. This is a what are we gonna play next, guys? We have like a set that we prepare. We've been opening up with off 21st Century Schizoid Man, and then we stop, and then Bobby is like, "All right, everybody, welcome. We're Pottersfield VX," and we go right into Rock and Roll Dinosaur. I love it.
Bronx
So
Rock.
that's it, man.
All right,
Um,
and then we're joined by Mr. Joe Silkman. Joe, what's going on?
This is going to be the most interesting episode ever because Professor Cheech We're gonna find out what he knows about British poetry and people like Keats and really
Oh,
really deep stuff. I mean, I get so lost in just listening to the music because it's like I listened to Stormcock like 3 times today. I've been
yeah,
listening to it for weeks, and it's like now I can't get it out of my head. But
yeah.
I'm very challenged by the lyrics. But the guitar work sounds fantastic, and Roy
Agreed.
Harper is now one of my top 4 all-time favorite acoustic
Isn't
guitarists.
that amazing, right?
I agree with that.
I've focused a lot on the lyrics, breaking them down to what they mean, and I'm gonna throw it at you guys, and you could we'll bounce off each other on the meanings. And then I broke down the music pretty heavy. I listened to it like 3 or 4 times, and I came up with different ideas. Since I'm glad you've been listening to it a lot, Joe, because you could help me, what you think on certain songs. Um, and it's not an EP because it's only 4 songs.
Nah, dude,
So
it's not an EV.
I changed my view of what an EP is. Rat's first album is an EP. Dawkins' first album is an EP. Not Roy Harper. um, all
Yeah.
right. So let's start it off. This is gonna be in parts because there's no way we're
Right
gonna,
in.
you know. So let's go back to 1971. Joe, where were you in 1971?
I remember playing Little League Baseball.
Okay, I like that.
I
I
think I
was
was still in elementary school.
elementary. Okay. I was just learning how to walk, maybe. And Manny, I know you were not on the planet yet.
Dude,
Just
my
kidding.
mom was 1 years old or less than
Yeah,
one.
me too. Me and your mom were learning how to walk,
That's what it sounds like.
you know. But in the rock and roll world, there was a lot of shit happening. Um, so these are the albums that came out in 71. Led Zeppelin 4, The Who's Next, Rolling Stones Sticky Fingers, The Doors LA Woman,
Hmm.
Bowie Hunky Dory, Pink Floyd Metal, Tull Aqualung, Yes Fragile, Sabbath Masters of Reality, which was that lady's first favorite album, by the way, that had the Sabbath shirt on today that I told
Ooh.
you.
I love that album.
Deep Purple Fireball. Then to get into the songwriters, Carole King, Tapestry, Joni Mitchell, Blue, John Lennon, Imagine, Nick Drake, Brighter, Lighter, Leonard Cohen, Songs of Love and Hate, Cat Stevens, Teaser and the Fire Cat, James Taylor, Mudslides, Slim and Blue Horizon, Graham Nash, Song for the Beginner. So just to give you like what is in the climate at the time,
I
what
mean,
he's up, what this man is up against,
I will say, just based on like Led Zeppelin 4, the
Yeah,
sound of Roy Harper clearly was not gonna.
no,
Although it's interesting, it was maybe if the label did a better job, you know, promoting it. But to be fair, this album is challenging because soft rock acoustic
yeah,
James Taylor
yeah.
was already on the rise, and but just so funny. But with Led Zeppelin 4, that alone,
No,
this album
nothing could. Yeah,
in
you
that
can't even.
climate,
I
forget
mean,
about it.
Metal by Pink Floyd.
Masters of Reality, right?
I mean, the
Dude,
I love
dude,
Fireball,
dude.
but
Damn it. Damn like
I know you can't. You
but
can't.
this is this was a year, dude.
Oh yeah. Um.
I mean, people
So
were not gonna pick up a record called Stormcock versus like Masters of Reality.
no,
Like,
not at all.
or the imagine like Led Zeppelin, you pick up that album cover, like there's
Yeah,
no band name. Like, what is this? Like, what the
yeah.
even though people knew this is Zeppelin.
Oh, definitely. Um. So gonna talk a little bit background. So Stormcock. Still laugh. The fifth studio album by prog folk rock singer Roy Harper. 1971 release on Harvest Records. It is widely considered his best record. Recorded at the famous what studio, Manny? The famous
My favorite, Abbey Road.
So he's recording this at
So
the greatest
wait,
studio at the
can we
time.
pause right there? The
Yeah.
fact that for our listeners out there, okay, I feel like any record that's recorded at Abbey Road is a must listen.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that alone, because that studio is so legendary. And just like the work that has been produced out of that, like Pink Floyd recorded there, which, like, for example, Piper at the Gates of Dawn with Sid Barrett was recorded.
That was recorded there.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit!
Yes,
I
like
know
this
that.
studio is no joke. And dude, at the time, and I read this in Abbey Road in London, um, on and I'm pretty sure it was on Savile Row, uh, was one of the most advanced recording studios. The Beatles wanted this.
It was the best studio at the
They
time.
wanted a studio because again, they invested so much money into this
Yeah,
because they were not touring. Anyway, so just the fact that, he's
yeah,
there recording this insane album is already speaks volumes.
and like only the best people recorded there.
Yep.
You had Electric Ladyland and you had Abbey Road. Those were the two big studios at the time. Did I freeze up?
No.
Oh, okay. Um, okay. So he released it on Harvest Records. It is widely considered his best record, recorded at Abbey Road. Genre, prog folk, baroque folk. It was produced by Peter Jenner, who was Pink Floyd's manager.
Hmm.
Harper said Stormcock was written because he felt the time was right to do it, to do what he really wanted to do. Um, he said he found his voice um, on previous albums like Flat, Baroque, and Berserk, and he used Stormcock to expand that with long form prog acoustic structures, and he did not use commercial hooks. He used a poetic narrative. Before Stormcock made him known, he was a rising counterculture hero in London, the London folk scene. He's known for his alarming folk music. In his background during this period, shaped by his traumatic early life, as we talked about on previous episodes, and growing reputation among rock elite. The turning point was Flat Baroque and Berserk 1970, released before Stormcock. Um, it marked several major shifts in his career. With this album, he had charted in the UK and it entered 20 in the Billboard in 1970. And he had a song called Another Day. And who covered that song? You know who
Who
covered that
covered the
song?
song or who sang backing vocals on the song?
Um, who covered it? Didn't a certain girl we love, you guys love, cover it?
Kate?
Another Day, right? Didn't Kate Bush cover it?
I don't remember.
I don't have
But
no
isn't that
idea.
the song that Paul and Linda McCartney sing backing vocals on?
Oh no, that's much later. That was in like the mid 70s.
This is
I
why
I
you're the professor, Cheech.
Yeah,
I,
I have no idea.
I think yeah, Kate Bush covered that song Another Day. You could fact check me on that if you want.
Is that the song she performed with Peter Gabriel on British television for a Christmas special?
I would think so. I think I'm not sure where I just my research told me she covered it.
Okay.
Um and the other song, Another Day, the other controversial song, I Hate the White Man,
That's
which is like,
huge. That's your favorite.
oh, totally my favorite song. I Hate the White Man.
Imagine singing that like the temple or something. Like I hate the. I don't know how the song goes, but I hate the white
I
man.
know. Insane. Um so so this album paved the way for Stormcock's success. Through this, he became good friends with Jimmy Page and David Gilmour, Ian Anderson. They all looked at him as some kind of like influence. I guess they looked at him as the guy who didn't care. the
Right.
artist that could
Right.
do what he wanted to do and not care. When these guys, they had to care. You know what I mean? Like Zeppelin had to follow some kind of rule. Roy Harper followed no rules. You know what I mean? Um. So, where am I? Uh, oh God. Okay. So, forgive me here. And this helped Stormcock become popular because a lot of these famous guys were talking about him and stuff. And then, he was looking for a new label, and he finally settled on Harvest Records for Stormcock. And Flat Baroque and Berserk also was on Harvest Records. He became it became a part of, it was a subversion of EMI. He also was on Strike Records, Columbia, Liberty before they all dropped him, and he started his own record label um, called Beggar's Banquet. And then, no, I'm sorry, he was on Beggar's Banquet. He started his own label called Science Fiction.
Science friction.
Oh, Friction. Right, I can't read my hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
So
know
flat.
better than me. Some of his lyrical themes on this album, Stormcock, are about capital punishment, religious dogma, anti-war songs, social alienation, environmentalism, personal love, um, anger, disillusionment, bitterness, rage directed at the establishment, bitterness toward the record industry. He was like an angry Bob Dylan.
It's funny. We're gonna talk about the music. It's so funny how when I was listening to the album and like Joe like several times, I realized you get addicted to it. So the music is actually beautiful, and the
Yeah.
acoustic work is actually like whoa, like it's its own thing. But lyrically though, it's like you're right. It's angry. It's definitely protest music.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. It's eccentric. Like I could see why he was popular because like he was not afraid. Like that the lyrics were his own and the
Yeah.
voice was his own. And
Yeah.
imagine that, like, and giving the middle finger to like the record label,
Oh
who
yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure Cheech, we're gonna talk about it after we break down the album. I know the record label thought like they were not happy because there was no singles, there
Mhm.
was no way of promoting on the radio. I mean, these tracks, there's only four tracks, two sides. Um, and in a way, and also they're kind of challenging because it's not catchy in terms
Yeah.
of like how there's like a 2 minute catchy pop song. There's none of it on here.
Yeah.
So
There's no verse, chorus, verse, chorus.
no,
There's
no,
no form.
Reminiscent of Bob Dylan doing Isis or Joey, like those long
right,
10 minute
right.
songs that no line is repeated a second time.
Well,
Yeah.
what's funny? Now I'm thinking, Joe, as a quick thing with Joey, I had a hard time with that song because of that reason. But maybe after listening to this, I'm gonna go back to Joey, appreciate it now because then I'm like, huh. Like I would wonder if Bob Dylan was influenced already by like a Roy Harper. I
I
didn't.
wonder. I wonder if he knew of him. If
He
he.
did know English folk artists,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be, no, obviously maybe the influence came later. I'm not sure.
Uh,
Um,
Dylan toured England. He did a short tour in 1962. And just like he would do when he was in New York City in the Village, when he was in England, he would go to the folk clubs. And he
yeah,
was definitely watching British folk singers
yeah.
and their
Well,
approach to the music. But it wasn't necessarily Roy Harper at that time. There were other
no,
folk musicians.
that you read about that in his Chronicles, Volume One, where and he mentioned I'm forgetting the name. I don't have the book with me. He said this is in the book that there was and I forgot his name, a British folk artist, huge, and he kind of claims that I kind of took some stuff from him, like in
Wow.
terms of his
Could
yeah.
it have been Roy Harper?
Let me
No.
get my book from my storage closet. Maybe in the part two we'll
It
just
would have been. It would have been too
well,
early,
Roy
right,
Harper
Joe?
would have come later, which would
Yeah.
inspire a song like Isis and Joey, which are
Yeah.
long form, really not meant for the charts, you know?
Yeah. Roy Harper would have been playing the clubs in '66. 67.
Right, right. Because I remember, I think he went into the military, but then changed his mind and had to get out of there, and he had to
Yeah,
undergo,
Right.
some
But
psychiatric counseling and treatment.
yeah, yeah.
wait, who's this?
Roy
Roy Harper.
Harper.
Oh wow. Okay.
So he was
He-
delayed getting into the music business. I
yeah.
think he was a classic busker. I think he used to be on the sidewalk playing his guitar and getting handouts like charity.
Imagine, crazy. Some of his lyrical themes on this album were about capital punishment, religious dogma, anti-war songs, social alienation. I said this already, right?
Yeah. Wait, geez,
Okay.
there was no hating the white man on this album, or
Yeah. Um, he had a layered. His music was layered acoustic foundation using 6 and 12 string guitars,
Mhm.
intricate chord patterns. He used the studio like an instrument, echo, heavy reverb, multi tracks. Um, he used organ, Moog synths, and all these kind of prog textures. And Abbey Roads was the perfect studio to do that because it had all that stuff that the Beatles recorded.
Mhm.
Um, so before we get into it, the musicians, obviously Roy Harper vocals, 6 and 12 string guitar, acoustic, and piano. David Bedford, Hammond organ, orchestral arrangements. Hard to hear the organ. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that,
Uh,
Joe?
You're
Manny?
right. It's mixed kind of low. I don't hear it.
you know what's funny? Mix wise, the other instruments are not mixed that well. That's my critique of the album, this fantastic album. But yeah, I can't hear the organ.
It's very low. I had to listen
Very
to
low.
this over and
It's
over.
there, but yeah, you would have to listen.
Well, is it the old argument that we've had before, like with talking about Getty and Alex, and how Alex would be challenged to try to play around the keyboards that Getty was playing? That there, it was harder for the guitar.
It,
Roy Harper was an acoustic guitar player that had to be the primary,
Yeah,
instrument, mixed
yeah,
way right on the top, and
yeah,
so the organ is probably just there for nuance, for flavoring.
yeah.
but Dylan got
Where's the organ on excuse my ignorance, but where's the organ on the song?
um
Which song?
I have to go to the songs. I don't
'Cause
remember. I
I
believe
would assume it's on or diverse because I do hear some
it is on that one. It's on that one.
I do hear some strange
It's on
instrumentation,
that.
but it's
And,
just
and
mixed so awkwardly. Like
and
it
it's
just
crazy jumping ahead to the 80s on the Jugular album, Joe. Synthesizers everywhere in that album, and it's loud,
Okay.
it's like he went
right?
opposite. Also,
Yeah,
also one more thing with Bob Dylan's connection here. Famously the organ used on like a Rolling Stone. Bob Dylan in the mix said to the engineers or producer, "I want that organ. I want you to mix it way
yeah.
up. It's got to be." So anyway, so maybe Roy Harper wasn't. Who knows? But obviously it wasn't mixed that well. So yeah, I don't hear it. But
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of Dylan. Like you hear Dylan's organ is all over. Like it's so
right.
loud, and
Dylan
it's
did a
such.
better job mixing it.
And Dylan is his
Artistically.
sound. His sound is a part. That organ is a huge part of.
It's a huge part.
Yeah.
Not with Roy Harper. I think the acoustic comes out the
Oh
top,
yeah.
you
It's
know?
barely there. The organ.
Hmm.
So David Bedford, he gets credit for Hammond organ, and you hear the orchestral arrangements. And Jimmy Page, Joe, say his name. I
S.
always
Flavius Mercurius.
yes, an acoustic on some old rock, on same old rock. Peter,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Jimmy was, contractually, on another record label, so he couldn't use his name and take credit. Very it's similar to when John Lennon would guest on a record and he would be, oh, what do you call himself? Sir
Yeah.
Winston Boogie.
Yeah,
They
he
would
would
come up
take
with these
on
funny names.
right.
Yeah,
For contractual reasons.
yeah.
yeah.
Peter Jenner produced it with Roy Harper. This is interesting. You know, yeah,
Cheech. Wait, dude. Just gonna pause it. I'm not ending the all right, Cheech. So you were saying we have a certain Joe, it's like Flavius. It's a really funny name.
S. Flavius Mercurius.
Now, what's the story behind oh, Cheech, do you have the story? What's up
I
with that?
can't find anything on it.
Joe, what's the story behind that? Do you know?
I
I
thought
think
it might have been a
um,
Crowley. I thought it was a Crowley thing. I looked it up.
oh,
I
I don't know
can't.
about the name, why he chose that, but
I think
you
he
know,
just made it up. I
Well,
I
mean,
think he,
it's
it's
funny because it sounds Latin. Flavius Mercurius.
yeah.
but it's S period Flavius Mercurius.
Right.
That'd be a great question if you ever got to meet him.
Like, what is yeah? Like, what is?
What does that mean, Jimmy? You know.
Um.
So Jimmy Page is on acoustic guitar on the Same Old Rock. Peter Jenner produced it with Roy Harper. Interesting engineer, Alan Parson.
Alan Parsons
From-
goes on to work with Pink Floyd and the Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was there.
Phil McDonald, John Barrett, Peter Brown, all recorded at Abbey Road. Okay. So I'm just gonna break before we get into, I'm just gonna bring up some facts about it because I really dug deep on this album. Stormcock. Okay, let's talk about each one of these points I have. Stormcock did not chart well on the charts. It had no singles to promote.
Dude, it didn't chart. It's like, it's funny, Reds.
Right.
I don't know where it got. I shared it with you. This album bombed. Like it's a miracle we kept recording.
I know.
Like this album, and again, it's not that the album's bad. It's just okay. It's considered his best record, right?
Yeah.
Now that could be debatable because in actuality, he has great records. I think
Done.
we'll be talking about Jugular because of the Jimmy Page and in the
Yeah.
80s, but this album bombed. Like it was didn't. I have Joe. I have a theory that what I think happened was maybe Jimmy Page bought like 1,000 copies and gave it to his friends. Right? He gave it
Yeah.
to a Pete Townshend. Guys, you guys gotta listen to this.
Yeah.
That's my
Oh,
theory of
you
people.
don't know Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
Huh?
Jimmy was very tight with money. I don't think he would have bought 1,000 copies and gave them to his
Okay,
friends.
that's fair enough. That's fair
His
enough.
nickname was Lead Wallet.
Okay, and choose. That's why we have Joe on the show, like to dispel all this. See, because that's why I theorize. Because I'm trying to figure out who bought this record because it didn't. It barely sold. Which
And probably the folkies that would see him in the clubs. You know what
I
I
feel
mean? He
like the
did it.
folkies hated it.
Well, no, he had a fan base. He did have a fan
I'm
base.
I'm kidding. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You know what? I think he maybe sold his records when he toured.
yeah,
That's where he made
yeah.
his money. You know.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get probably distribution. I don't think you. I mean, maybe you could buy it in a record store in England at the
And,
time, but not
and
in America.
I also blame Harvest. I feel like they didn't try enough in
Yeah.
trying to promote him. They should have promoted him as like the England's answer to Bob Dylan. Like, had they done that,
Well, it might not be Harvest. It might be him too. Because
no, 100%. But if you're the a label, right? If you're the
yeah,
label, dude, like Columbia backed Dylan. That's it.
yeah,
By the way, can I say something really quick as a side note? Columbia was one of the okay. Bob Dylan was a genius, but thanks to Columbia.
they made him.
They made him. They pretty
Yeah,
much pushed his records up to the
yeah.
forefront. Like they, and sadly, they kind of like shoved Joan Baez away a little bit. But
Oh yeah, a lot of
they,
artists
dude, they
suffered.
kind of, you could argue they forgot their other artists and just focus on Dylan. Like anyway,
Yeah,
but my point is like Harvest. I don't think. Obviously, you're right. Hard man to work with. So you're right. They
yeah,
because Roy Harper, had he been smart, he would have maybe created a single or something on the album, but
yeah.
he doesn't compromise. So
Well, that's my next point. Like you said, the label is a big problem. Lack of promotion. Harper said the label hated it. The label didn't like the album. So they had no marketing budget. And that's why it was a commercial failure. But it's critically acclaimed now, which is crazy. It was a commercial failure back then, but now people are still talking about this album, how great it is. So, how does it feel back in 1971, but now it's a classic album? People love it.
Well, just it inspired. I don't know if you guys know this band. This is amazing when I found this out. So one of my favorite modern bands is Fleet Foxes.
Yeah.
Okay, I consider them one of the great. They continued that tradition of prog folk. I didn't make this connection.
Are they English?
No, American. And then on the second album, Helplessness Blues, one of my favorite records. Guys, I recommend you go listen to it.
Yeah.
The singer said, I listened to Stormcock and I try making my own version of it. And I was like,
Wow.
wow. So see that, and not only him, there's a lot of artists have mentioned that Storm. That's it. So monetary wise, yeah, bombed. But now looking back on it, people have realized it
Oh
is
yeah.
a
It-
magical album. Like
yeah.
it is the influence. It speaks for itself.
Right. And I'm gonna just kind of quote what you just said. It did not chart at all, having any hits, but it was regarded by critics and fans as a masterpiece of epic prog music, a statement that grew into years to follow its release. You know, um, so the long-term impact, despite its poor initial sales, the album is now considered a classic rank album, ranking 377 in the NMO ranking out of 500. So it's 377 out of 500 on this MNO ranking system. That's not bad, So it's definitely known. Um, I never heard of that. I don't know if you guys ever heard of MNO.
I think um that was I saw that somewhere. So that was NME's 500 greatest album of all time, and an NME is New Musical Express magazine.
Okay.
By month, like it's like the Rolling Stone in England.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah,
pretty,
they're
pretty.
pretty huge, NME, and so they released their own version of the 500 greatest albums of all time, and inducted Stormcock at number 377.
Which ain't bad. It's not. It's
I
not.
mean,
It's
for
not.
being, yeah, 500, so good.
You know. Um. But in the short term, Stormcock was a commercial flop in 1971, but in the long term, it's successful. And like it aged well. Um. So I know we talked about it. The meaning, Stormcock means an old English name for a missile thrush, a bird in England. It predicts when bad weather is coming and sings aloud before the storm. And I actually know a girl in England who hears this thing. She's
Mm.
told me about this. Friend of mine. Um, Roy chose the name because it is an allegory for his own career. Like the bird, Harper saw a himself solitary vocal figure who sang through professional storms, challenges in the music industry, social norms, despite the lack of commercial support.
Mhm.
So it's he's comparing himself to that bird as a metaphor, singing through the storm of his failures and ups and downs. And like a lot of bands had ups and downs, but this guy had a lot of fucking failures, ups and downs, labels dropping him. It's insane.
Yeah, and they usually, I have here the missile thrush, they have a tendency to sing after, or sometimes during a wet, windy weather storm. So
Yeah,
I think
they
that
let
perfectly describes him.
they when you this girl was telling me when you hear them, it's gonna storm, and they're loud.
Mm.
You know.
They are defiant.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that Roy Harper thought that's the way he was. He was defiant. But when I read about Roy Harper, apparently he is a bird enthusiast.
Yes.
He's a gardener and he's an environmentalist.
Yeah, that's gonna come up a lot in this album. The environmentalist part
Because
of
a
him.
lot of the musicians in England, so many people are gardeners. George Harrison was a gardener.
I
Brian
know
May.
Bud,
that's a
Brian
Bud's,
May.
great, that is a great point. They are.
Yeah,
Brian May
that
too.
was their place of peace. They
Right.
would find
Yeah.
comfort and serenity in the garden.
Yeah.
Talk about them actually having hobbies.
Yeah. So
Actually,
Joe,
as an aside, I just this reminds me of something. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I sent Joe. I think I sent you this. I think Cheech, I tagged you. I think Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Some interviewer guy says, "Do you guys have any hobbies?" And all of them are like, "Nah, we just play music." Like Keith was like, "Nah, I just play my instruments all
yeah,
day and make music." Greg like had to think. And Lake was like, "Yeah, no, I don't."
I
So.
know.
So,
Yeah.
so gardening is, for, I guess, the smart ones, like Joe says, an escape, a hobby to
Yeah.
escape the pressures of stardom for many of them, and pressure.
Yeah. Like what are they gonna come up for their next album? How do you top your next album?
And also, the English always have, like Led Zeppelin always had this uh yearning for the pastoral, the countryside. Also,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bonham was basically a gentleman farmer. He had, I think it was like a working farm. And he
Yeah.
was very much, like a do-it-yourself or work with your hands, masonry and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have been happy on the farm. He hated to tour. He hated to get on that plane.
Yeah.
That's why he became, Bonzo, and became so unpredictable and
Well, he was a family man at heart. He was a
I know I
family
got
he
that from
was.
the documentary. A young man too, a young age.
Oh, they were, yeah, also young, and married, and he had kids, and Plant had kids too. Imagine leaving your family and going into the world of Led Zeppelin. Oh
Dude, it's
my
funny for all that.
God.
I thought they were just sleeping with groupies and like they were like I didn't know they had these family lives. It was just shocking.
John Paul Jones had like kids that were like a little bit older. Bonham had, little kids. Plant had little kids when Zeppelin just started. And back then, everybody got married young.
Yeah.
My parents got married at 19 and 20. That was the thing. Um,
A lot of those guys had a lot of trouble when they would come off a tour and go back to the family. They just couldn't shut it off.
yeah. Oh, could you imagine the way Zeppelin toured? Like,
Yeah.
like 200, 250 dates a year, and then you got to come home and be a normal person. Same thing with Sabbath.
All right.
Sabbath was the same way. Um, they should, maybe more people should be like Kate Bush. you know,
Maybe, yeah, or the Beatles just like not tour anymore.
yeah,
Or like Roy Harper. I think
Or
that Roy
or like
Harper and
Roy
Kate Bush
Harper.
both lived the lives that they wanted. If Roy refused to, give in and be commercial, and he probably could have. And yeah, we got to do the movie. We got to do the movie script. The
yeah.
revisionist history of Roy Harper. We'll have him sign with Swan Song in 1974.
Well, I friend requested him today, if it's even him, and it is him because there's a performance from last month, so maybe he'll be my friend. I don't know. I'm
He would
trying to read.
probably do better trying to reach out to his son Nick.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's on Facebook. 'Cause I
yeah.
really want to reach out to him because he would probably do the show. I have a, you know what I mean. I would think he would do the show.
I think so.
You know, um, um,
That would be a trip.
that would be amazing. So Joe, you wanted to? I mean, I know me and Manny pronounce this. You wanna pronounce the first song before I break it down?
Hors d'oeuvres.
What did I
Hors
say?
d'oeuvres
Hors
are
d'oeuvre?
little appetizer, little finger foods
Or
like
hors
when you go to
d'oeuvres? Oh,
a
hors
cocktail
d'oeuvres,
party.
right?
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, little pigs in a
So Chiefs, you and I,
blanket, a little.
you and I don't go enough to the fancy restaurants.
No, I
No, you got
know.
to go to the cocktail parties, during the cocktail
Hors
hour, and
d'oeuvres.
they had the little napkins, they got the little toothpicks with the crackers and the
Right.
cheese, and maybe a little pimento cream cheese spread, hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
Chiefs, you eat hors d'oeuvres?
I have, but something I don't do all the time.
I guess
Wait,
we call
dude,
them
wait.
appies now, appetizers
Yeah, yeah.
or tapas.
I was gonna say tapas in Espanol. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
like o boquitas, as we say too. That's what they are, hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, small finger foods.
Hmm. But in this case, Harper is a scathing critique.
This has nothing to do with the song has nothing to do with
Nah,
that.
dude, no, it's more of the scathing critique of the people that consume that food.
Oh
Like
my
that,
God. Yeah. Lyrics and
I'm
meaning.
assuming. But let's see. Go ahead.
Lyrics and meaning. It focuses on two main topics: the judicial system and the music critics. Now remember, this man hates music critics. Fucking hates them. Um, hope I read my handwriting right. The system and capital punishment is the first verse. It goes against the legal system and the power held by judges and juries. Harper states this section was specifically dedicated to the memory of Carly Chessman, who spent 12 years on death row before being executed in 1960. Now, this reminds me of somebody, Hurricane Carter. You know,
Mm.
Bob Dylan. This is like the Hurricane Carter
Yeah,
song.
but there is a kind of interesting difference though.
Oh, there's a big difference. There's a
Yeah,
big
because
difference.
one is actually like I don't know. Well, the argument goes that Hurricane didn't do it, right? Um,
I don't know much about this Chessman guy. I didn't research what he did, or but I know Roy Harper felt like he
well,
did not deserve to die.
And he was an American.
Oh, so Joe, you know more about this.
I
Oh,
think he
I
was an American in California, and I think when Roy Harper uh, visited California with Led Zeppelin as a guest of theirs, he learned about this case and he wrote a song about it.
that's why Joe was on the show.
that's right.
Wow. Um,
That's why. But
shit.
I will say with him though, um, he actually was a criminal though. I think he actually did all the stuff he did.
What did he do? 'Cause I didn't.
Well, I'm reading here. So, all right. So, okay, take a look at this. So, part of the controversy, this is a nice setup, but part of the controversy. Well, first, in 1948, a numbery. So he's kind of like a serial killer, or like a what's his name from Nebraska,
Oh, Starkweather.
Darkweather. But check this out: a number of robberies and thefts were reported in the greater Los Angeles area. On January 3, two men robbed a haberdashery in Pasadena with a .45 caliber automatic pistol. Um, and a bunch of things. In January 19, a third couple was robbed as they sat parked in the hill in West Pasadena. And the woman, Regina Johnson, was forced to perform oral, S on her assailant.
Oh
On
my
January
God. Sorry.
22nd, I
This
know.
is this is why it's called Stormcock, the album.
Yeah. Yeah, he pretty much did some Stormcock work on. But anyway, a fourth couple returning home from a church dance was pulled over on Mulholland Drive. Now, this is all the cases. The assailant drugged the girl, and this is the guy who was accused of this. 17-year-old Mary Alice Meza, a short distance to his vehicle. Her boyfriend then drove away and then was pursued by the assailant. After an unsuccessful attempt to force the male victim off the road, the perpetrator drove Meza to a secluded area where he forced her to engage in, you know, some yike stuff, some Stormcock stuff, and threatening to kill her BF if she did not comply. So, um,
This is sicker than
so
Starkweather.
the guy who was convicted, was this guy.
So why is he
Well,
defending a
that's the
sick
funny part.
fuck?
Very different from Hurricane Carter. Because again, Hurricane Carter, I'm
No,
not sure.
Hurricane. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
See,
look, he might have done it. I'm not sure, but
I don't think Hurricane Carter did it. He was a
it's
boxer,
kind of
and
like To Kill a Mockingbird case. But
yeah.
who really knows, right? I guess it's kind of like that.
Mm.
Also, OJ Simpson, did he do
But
it or not?
why would you want to defend this guy?
Well,
That's
okay. This is where it gets kind of funny because Chessman asserted his innocence from the outset, arguing that throughout the trial and appeal process that he was alternately the victim of mistaken identity or of a
like Hurricane.
conspiracy to frame him. He also claimed to know the real identity of the real perpetrator. Here's the problem, though, but refused to reveal it.
Okay.
He further alleged that the confession he signed during his initial. All right, so this is where Harper's
I see.
failure of the political system comes into play.
Right, right.
So, we don't know.
It's
Um,
similar to Hurricane because Hurricane had that whole conspiracy theory going on
right.
with him.
And his sentencing was dragged out and he was facing the death penalty. And I think a few years later he got the gas chamber. So he went this like in 1960, Chessman finally went to the gas chamber at San Quentin prison, where famously John Cash sang as well. Um, but that's the controversy. So I guess Roy Harper sees it as I think he believes Carl Chessman. And I believe he's like trying to critique the justice system in the United States, which again, it has happened, like where the justice system has failed. This is where the diverse song, or diverse, but why can't I pronounce this? Or or divorce?
Or
Or
Dirt.
Or doors. What? I don't know what's going on. Or
some
dirt.
people have fun with it and say
Wait,
hors d'oeuvres.
Manny, you work in specialty for God's sakes.
We sell the summer living at the temple. But yeah, dude, but that's a story. And again, like and just so we see who get this, look at this. The following day when he was caught in North Hollywood attempting to stop a 1946 Ford coupe, matching the description given by Meza and her boyfriend, and also by witnesses to a robbery at a clothing store in Redondo Beach earlier that day. At a high-speed chase, the vehicle's occupants, Chessman and this David Knowles, were captured and arrested after a 17 two-hour interrogation, during which Chessman later claimed he was beaten and tortured by these cops for a confession. Chessman confessed to the red light bandit crimes. He was also positively identified by the rape victims. He claims he didn't do it. But this case really dragged on
This is interesting.
and eventually led to the gas chamber execution. And it was years. It was really like dragged on. 12-year death row imprisonment. He was on death row for 12 years. And so now what appears to me in the song, uh, Harper uses this as a vehicle to critique the judicial system in the United States.
That's the first verse is about that.
Right.
Yeah. The lyrics give vivid imagery to depict what Harper saw as a dishonorable and class um in a dishonorable conduct of the justice system as a judicial system.
Right. And I think it starts off, I mean, I don't think Harper is like supporting him or really, but I think it's a jumping off point.
He's
Uh,
making fun of he's pointing out to the judicial system. If I'm saying it wrong,
yeah.
the judges and stuff, you know.
Well, he's critiquing how we think and write about pursuing justice for all. And actually
Yeah.
um to quote Metallica's prog metal classic and
Yeah.
Justice for All, where they're dragging Lady Liberty down.
Right, right, right.
Essentially, it's that same idea, but this is its starting off point.
Yeah.
So that's why he begins the lyrics with saying the judge sits on his great assize, 12 men wise with swollen thighs, because these are like people who consume hors d'oeuvres, like fat men, greedy,
Yeah, yeah.
who never told no lies, whose minds were ever such a size, whose lives were ever such a prize, whose brain bred answers just like flies. I mean, he's just like going in, like,
Yeah. So he's critiquing the whole justice system for
yep,
making a mistake in his eyes, for killing a man who was innocent, for doing horrible things,
claiming, but
claiming.
dragging on this 12-year-old like death row sentence.
They didn't have the lie detector back then, I wonder.
I don't think so. I don't think they did. If it did, it was probably like it wasn't sophisticated.
Yeah. And this would have been what year? Starkweather era?
Actually, like, sort of, not the same period, but kind of like
Yeah.
1940.
Oh, it would have been before
He got
Starkweather.
executed like in 1960, I think.
Sounds like it might be an interesting future true crime show.
Honestly, it is interesting. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
right up your alley.
I know. See where we get this stuff. Second verse shifts its focus on the attack of music critics. Um,
Oh, wait, can I mention just a quick thing?
yeah.
Apparently, this case was mentioned in the song Broadway Melody of 1974 on Genesis albums The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Oh
So
wow.
we definitely have to do an episode on this.
Definitely.
And get this, country music star Mel Haggard, Joe, your boy, stated in an interview in 1995 that many years earlier, when he was a prison inmate, observing Chessman's preparation for his execution helped him to set him on the straight and narrow. Another interesting. So this dude is Roy Harper was onto something.
Wow. Um, yeah, second verse attacks music critics. Um, he basically says that there's a part of the song where it's aimed at one or two specific critics who hated his work. It is a statement of defense of Harper's own career, suggesting that the jury had been out on his music since he started. So there's kind of like a little hidden message in there.
That yeah, like, that's what, and that's clearly in the lyric. The critic rubs his tired arse, scrapes his poor brains. I mean, and look at actually, you guys will laugh at this. Scrapes his poor brains, strains and farts. Yeah, he's like not holding back and this is what you're talking about, and wields a pen that stops and starts and thinks in terms of booze and tarts and sits there playing with his parts. I mean, this is in the song. Like he's describing like these like and look at this. Like he's really not playing. Like he's got no healing formulas. He's talking about the critics. He's got no cure all for our scars. He's got no bra strap for our bras. And this, I'm sorry for this, but in our sagging tits no longer hold a house of hearts. And he's using poetics here.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very like very harpesque. I made that word up, like harpesque. But you know what? I don't think this little song's gonna make the charts. Kind of brilliant, like because he starts off by critiquing the justice system. These should have been two separate songs. But
Exactly.
he combines them. In the first part, he critiques the judges who really he calls them whose brains bred answers just like flies. They have brains like flies. And flies are pestilent. They gather around like shite and like disgusting stuff. So he's like critiquing them. Whose answers stalk their thoughts like spies. Can't trust them. Whose lead ball through the courtroom flies to rip a hole clean between two eyes. They never they never ever wore disguise, and they never ever saw blue skies. Who quickly live now slowly dies, whose clothes unopened otherwise. So it starts out by critiquing, mentioning this case. This is a platform that these people that judge you. And by the way, the 12 men is a an allusion to the biblical 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples who judge, 12 apostles, by the way.
Wow.
12 men wise with well, but he's critiquing them that these people eat hors d'oeuvres. I don't know why I cannot pronounce that word,
It's
but
like two syllables, hors d'oeuvres.
hors d'oeuvres, or always on the show. We always, Cheech and I always encounter these words, hors d'oeuvres. Yeah,
90125, John
I
Anderson.
know. Okay, Joe, mark it
You know,
already. Starting off
Chris
the year
Chris
strong.
Spire.
Chris Spire, Chris Squire. But yeah, guys, two songs. So I like I do like. It's funny. I do like the critique of the critics. It's
Oh
scathing.
yeah.
And he even says the famous you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, you can lead a horse to water, but you're never gonna make him drink. And you can lead a man to slaughter, but you're never gonna make him think. So what he's saying is that the judicial system really didn't help Chessman think on his crimes. It's a complete failure. And it made him wait 12 years. And that's a reference, again, 12 years, the 12 men wise with swollen thighs. That took 12 different men, fat, dumb, to come on, like what's going on here with this case? Why are we wasting taxpayer money on this?
Right.
What's going on? But anyway, but that's Harper. So two, it should have been two separate songs, and
It's
both of
it,
them
it
excellent.
and he does this a lot on this album.
Right,
He
right.
goes from like love songs to
But
environmental issues.
but let me take your guys' take on it. What do you think?
I love it. I see. I'm just looking at Chessman. I didn't even
No,
investigate
thank you
Chessman.
for the critics, because then I saw it immediately on the
Yeah.
second stanza.
Oh, the critics. Yeah. But Joe. I think Joe brought up Chessman, right? I think. Like, thank you, because now this has opened up a whole new thing. And Manny, great explanation on Chessman and going into the whole Chessman story, which did not even research. I just thought it was like a hurricane type of thing, but I didn't get too involved in it, you know.
It is a hurricane type of thing. The only thing is that maybe we could do a true crime episode on it, but
Oh, we have to
um,
now.
Yeah, right. It does sound like he did do it. It's weird. There's a lot of weirdness going on. Like he
Yeah.
knew the person that did it, but didn't want to say anything.
Right, right.
No.
And they picked him out the car. They had the
Right. And he
victims
was
found the car.
right. And he was positively identified. But what's interesting is that Harper's not actually, it's not about him, but it's more this is the starting off point, like
Yeah, yeah.
critiquing the justice system through him.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
dragging a
He's not
case.
really defending him. He's critiquing the
No, but
system.
imagine dragging somebody 12 years on death row and taxpayer money has to pay for his.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's what he's saying. Like, what are we doing? Like in the
yeah,
justice system? Like, what's
yeah,
going on?
yeah. He doesn't see how he feels about the guy.
Not that I
He had
see.
no
Uh,
opinion, really.
yes, opinion on the critics though. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, the
he ripped
critics he
them.
rips apart, and he goes from one verse. It could be a completely different thing to another verse. They're not connected. He could have went to a second verse and saying he could have broke down Chessman in this whole song, four
He
verses.
could have, yeah. And it reminded me, is this the one where he goes, the critic rubs his tired R's, or like is that the
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah,
thing,
yeah.
kind of like dream of consciousness kind of. Like he's just
It's all stream of consciousness.
it's
His
strange.
style.
It's
Yeah,
great. It should have been two separate songs though.
yeah.
But Joe, what do you think lyrically? Like what do you think?
Well, I think it's very different from the Dylan song Hurricane because Dylan was making a statement on racism within the
Yep.
justice system.
Yep.
I'm assuming that Chessman was a white man. Am I
He,
right?
he was. Yeah, I'm pretty
So
sure.
racism would not be part of it,
Nope.
whereas Dylan, I think, made that a focal point.
Right, right, right. It's a great point. But we gotta investigate Chessman now.
Yeah, and the only difference is that Hurricane Carter, I think, probably by all accounts, was innocent. This guy doesn't seem like it, and he has a
No.
lot of convictions.
Oh, he's got a background.
And he was famously at San Quentin State Prison, the infamous San Quentin. So
Wow.
he's one of these, and obviously Johnny Cash, on top of singing Folsom Prison, he also sang at San Quentin as well. So, it's just kind of interesting.
I think in the TV special, Merle Haggard is in the audience at San Quentin, and apparently had met Johnny Cash before the show. And Merle Haggard said he was a songwriter, and I believe I think Johnny Cash actually sang one of Merle Haggard's compositions. It may have even helped him get an earlier release from prison.
Wow.
I'd have to look into that, but I'm almost sure that in the documentary of the concert film,
Yeah.
that Merle Haggard was in the audience
Okay, that's amazing.
as an inmate.
That's amazing. And
That's
imagine
not
if Chessman was in the audience too. I mean, I'm just like speculating
Yeah.
because
Now that would
Merle
have been
Haggard.
about 1967 or 68. It came out after the Folsom Prison album.
Oh, okay, so he's gone. Okay, but apparently he talked to him and gave him consolation.
Makes me wonder how long Merle Haggard was in prison and
That's
what
that's
his
what
offense was.
that's what it sounds like. Yeah,
Looks like you're drawing me into the true crime universe.
that's what it
I think
sounds
I'm
like.
out, but you pull me back in.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, Cheech, we're dragging Joe, and now he's gonna be part of the true crime. Like,
Oh man, you're welcome to come in. Um, it's a different ball game altogether with that world. And there's probably like chessman freaks, like man, it was the Manny Grossman of the chessman world out there, probably.
but like big conspiracy and
I'm
like.
I'm actually gonna put Chessman in YouTube and see what happens. I'm sure there's probably documentaries on it. I
It's so long
wonder,
ago.
or maybe it's not that popular. You know?
But you know what's funny, guys? I'm reading here. He was released in 1960. In 1960, he attended a Johnny Cash concert at the prison. Like what Joe was saying, but it might be odds are that maybe Chessman was in the audience.
I
So
know
he
that
didn't.
Merle Haggard was in the audience.
No, I'm saying, but maybe Chessman was with in the audience as well. And no, just like speculation.
Wait a minute. Well, when was his execution?
1960.
But the concert for Johnny Cash at San Quentin couldn't have been until like 68 or 69 after the execution.
All right, then he got executed.
If you're saying he was executed in 1960,
I
when
think
did
that's
he commit? Wait a minute. You said it was 12 years from the time of conviction until
yeah, I would
execution.
have to go back. Yeah, something like that.
So he committed the crimes around 1948 and was
Yeah,
in the justice system at that time.
yep, yep,
That's just after post. That's post-war.
yep,
That's just like wow.
yeah,
And
Uh,
that's insanity, crime, like sick shit. People, like Starkweather's 10 years later, the shit he
yeah.
did, but this is really sick.
I mean, I remember when it came to murder mysteries, it wasn't until Gary Gilmore around 1977
hmm
that I remember there was a best-selling book, and I actually read that. And I remember that I think he was executed in 1977. Could be wrong about that, but there was a great interest in that because of the book that was put out.
Wow. So much to this song, right?
It should have been two songs.
It should have been two songs. I think if I could give Harper advice, you should have done two, and they would have been great songs.
I
Like,
know. I know.
and the organ probably would have made more sense because the organ is church music, right? So it has that funeral tone.
Yeah.
It should have been on the and in the later track, the critique one, like a great Bob Dylan solo acoustic, like just
Yeah.
ripping the
I mean,
critics.
crazy. So I'll just break down the music best I can. And it's hard to break his music down unless you're listening to it, you know. 8 minutes and 37 seconds. Epic Prague. 8 minute explosion of Prague acoustic music. It is its structure is slow, tension filled build up, avoiding standard radio friendly form in favor of a ornate and complex composition.
Yeah.
So, in the first 3 minutes, the track begins with a descending standard first position folk chord played on acoustic guitar. Vocal style. Harper style is described as almost quiet or serpentine, stretching syllables in a complex pattern or firing them out like bullets to match the lyrical intensity. Atmosphere. This section relies on repetitive foundation of two guitars, riffing the same patterns, creating a suspenseful feel that mirrors the courtroom drama lyrics. So the music is he's trying to mirror the lyrics. You know what I mean? With the dark imagery of the music. 3 minutes to 4:30. You have anything? Any any comments or anything?
I think that's good. It starts out very pretty. Like
Yeah.
acoustically, it's actually a very pretty song. But the way he sings, yeah, you're right. He it kind of like it's atmospheric and he drags. I feel like every verse doesn't end. Like
Yeah.
that's
No.
why it's challenging. I'm gonna try to be my impression. It's like the judge sits on this great assize, and he's just like
Yeah.
that's what he does.
His vocals called longation. He uses
Yeah, yeah.
longation.
And it's strange because, like you say, he's trying to match like that musical style as well.
Yeah.
So it creates this effect where it's dreamy. It does, if you don't have patience, you're gonna be like, okay, after a few verses, like you
I,
really gotta have patience. Like that's
yeah.
and it's great because he Cheech, don't get me wrong, he uses like descending chords.
Yeah.
Just
Hmm.
can you explain that? Like what's going on there?
All right. See a major scale is going up. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. A descending is going down. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom,
Okay.
boom,
And I
boom.
just wanna, and the reason, and I figured that out. I'm not a musician, but the way he's singing, and down, 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 and he's doing like this weird thing where he's going down every single verse. Now, to the listening ear, that's odd. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I first put that track on, I was like, what am I listening to? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get it. So I could see why it was challenging to a lot of
Oh, yeah.
listeners, not prepared for that. And progressive, dude. This guy is progressive. Like
Oh, yeah.
this is progressive rock in a way, just progressive folk.
Totally. So 3 minutes to 4:30, layered vocals at 3 minutes. The first chorus arrives. It's accompanied by a choir of multi-tracked and heavily treated voices recorded by Harper's ghostly sound all around the song. Um, let's see. And then building tension, the instrumentation begins to grow more complex with addition of intricate finger-picked figures and abrupt changes in meter and cadence. From 4:30 to 8 minutes. Okay. Manny, tell me if you hear David Bradford's Hammond organ.
Okay, I do. Actually, my notes at the 7 minute mark, I'm assuming it's at the end because
Yes,
then he has these like church gospel choir.
exactly. Yeah, that's where I got it.
And,
Yep.
and I guess he's experimenting.
Yeah.
It's and that's when you hear like, but it's very subtle. You get, and then they get drowned out in the mix when the choir comes in.
Yeah. Um, the Hammond organ plays by David Bradford joins Phil joins filling out the sonic space. The guitar textures, the arrangements further expand with the addition of guitar played through a Leslie speaker. You know what that is? That's what a Hammond organ goes through. So the acoustic went through a Leslie on that. Then the outro is an organ solo that ends the song with this ghostly like effect. So that's pretty much the music on that. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Joe, any comments? I know you listened to it a lot today.
Yeah, but now I'm having this problem of the last 3 minutes of the same old rock with Jimmy Page.
Oh yeah,
It's
well yeah,
taking it out of my head, so it's confusing me about hors d'oeuvres.
uh,
You know, uh, I just find that his vocal phrasing is very very interesting. And you say it's what do you call it?
elongated.
Elongation.
Getting and he's using dissension, which is he does he's because usually correct me if I'm wrong. Usually songs go like da. He's going
Yeah,
oh, like he's just going like down.
yeah, like a
So it
major
sounds
triad.
odd.
Boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, 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 boom. He's going down.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Like that's what he's
Yeah,
doing. Like it's pretty brilliant. It's
yeah,
just that to the listening ear, it's odd.
yeah. Or he'll take a word and he'll stretch it.
That's another thing he does.
Yeah,
It's
that's yeah.
it's like he just
And
goes.
you know the master of that is Ian Anderson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's a master of stretching
Oh,
out a
you're
vocal.
right. Actually, you're right.
I kind of hear
Yeah,
Tull. I hear Tull in Harper's voice on some of
dude,
the phrasing.
you're kind of right. Yeah.
You know the way
Yeah,
he'll
give me an example.
elongation.
My father died in heaven. Like
Yeah,
he just like
yeah.
does,
It's how
you're
you
right. You're
it's like elongation.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
you know.
great point. And he's an influence on Tall.
Right. You know,
That's a great point, dude.
and they all watched him before their careers took off. So think
Right.
about this, or in the, so he inspired. Um, God, I'm brain fart. The singer from Tull. I just said his name, and I'm
Right.
Ian 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 Anderson. Ian Anderson. He inspired Ian
Don't say
Anderson.
John Anderson.
No, no, no.
All right, that's
And,
funny. But Joe, any final thoughts on this song? Any further thoughts?
um, I don't know. I'm exhausted. Right? It is once
Dude, this is epic. We already like I don't even know how many minutes we're in.
we broke down hors d'oeuvres and like lyrically, I mean lyrically, you like you did a great job of like I gave you the two options and then you took the the criminal you described the story that we don't know. We
I
just know
know.
the guy's name.
Yeah, I
And
know.
now there's a reason why he wrote this song. We just gave you the reason, folks, why this that guy's mentioned in here. If you're just listening and you hear the guy's name and you're just like, okay, whatever. But Manny just broke down the reason why. And he's not defending him, he's going against the judicial system,
Mhm.
which is so fascinating.
Uh, the first stanza, something similar, is the movie The Green Mile. which is a critique of the judicial. Stephen King also is a very Harper-esque writer when he critiques the prison system,
Yeah.
like especially those inmates on death row that get
Oh yeah.
dragged on, and those sentences, and what exactly what if the person is recuperated? Does he still go on death row? Why make him that's what he's trying, like these people don't. What Roy Harper ultimately is saying is that these guys don't know anything, and like the critics, they're, as he says, scrapes his brains, poor brains, strains and farts, and wields a pen, and the critic rubs his tired arse. So that's what he's saying, that these judges rub their arse. Like,
Yeah. It's insane.
wait, Joe, any other thoughts, Joe, or like any?
I was just the only thing, it's related but unrelated, is I was wondering if when I was 11 years old, if I went into the local Caldors or Woolworths, wanted to buy a record, would I have seen Roy Harper's Stormcock?
Hmm.
Or was the record company so not behind it
Right.
that it really wasn't distributed to America?
Right.
I would bet you would never see this
I,
in America.
that's what I would bet too. Yeah.
Meanwhile, they probably burned
Maybe,
100 copies of Carole King's Tapestry.
Right.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
Maybe if you went to Tower Records or whatever big store was around when you were, well, did they even have giant record stores at that time? I don't think so, right? They
Tower
were just
Records would have
local.
been the only one I would have known. Or
Well, like in 1971, was there like a giant, it was just little mom and pop record stores or Woolworths or Corvettes.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he wouldn't be in England. Yeah, I would say yes. If there was a department store in England that had a record section like Corvettes of England,
Well,
you might
well,
see it. You definitely would see it there. Not in America.
what I would think, and Bob Dylan gives evidence to this, that people that went to England found Stormcock, brought it over. And Bob Dylan, the way he would listen to records, not only him, but many people, when going over people's houses, he would look at their record collection and pull, and he would ask about these. Who's this? And the person, who usually a music snob, you got to listen to that, man. That's, Roy Harper. I think that's what ended up happening. And maybe the niche record stores that, probably ordered some copies.
Yeah.
But like Joe's saying, the record label didn't back him up. Like,
Right,
No,
right.
no.
And think about it. Zeppelin 4 hadn't come out yet. So how famous was Jimmy Page in 1971 before Stairway? And of course, it was S. Flavius Mercurius. And if the record label is not saying, hey, that's Jimmy Page, Whole
That's a
Lot of
good.
Love,
That's a good point.
immigrant song. But if there was no promotion, people would not have even been curious about who S. Flavius Mercurius was.
Nobody even cared. That's a
no
good
one,
point.
it's sort of like a kept secret in like the rock world.
If
Like,
if it said Jimmy Page on the album, it would have sold, even on that one song. It would have definitely been a bigger album at the time.
Well, we'll investigate that with whatever happened to Jugular.
Yeah,
Which was
that yeah.
post Zeppelin and it was before the Firm.
I started to do one song on that, and I'm hearing that '80s sound right away. The production, completely opposite
Joe,
of
I,
this.
I told Cheese the first song, George Orwell, 1984,
Yeah,
1948-ish. I already knew, and I already knew where Roy Harper was heading and with this.
it's a great song. Oh my God, and the lyrics they're bleak.
Because the 1984 novel is bleak.
Oh yeah, it gets yeah. He
Ends with Big Brother capturing, I'm spoiling the novel, you saw the movie, capturing our poor character, torturing him. And at the end, he loses. Big Brother wins.
yeah, crazy. Okay, do we want to move on? We'll stop at same old rock because like this is gonna probably take us somewhere.
Same old rock is gonna take an hour, dude. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
And we'll stop
what like
here, and then we'll do
no
part
no
two
no
next week.
no, I figure we'll split them up because they're 4 songs. Unless you guys are down to
No, no,
do
no, no. I'm
another
saying
thing.
we'll do same old rock now, and then end here, part one, and then
Oh
part two
yeah. Because we
next
could
week.
we'll
These
be
are
here to
epic, and
midnight.
we'll
We'll be
wrap
here,
up the
yeah
Stormcock album. All right,
yeah.
this is
Yeah, we'll be here to midnight. I mean,
this will
writing
become the
this,
midnight special.
yeah, I'm telling you, writing this was just like exhausting. Trying to, put it together. Like, I hope I made sense of it, so far. Um, Same old rock, 12 minutes and 24 seconds. a 12-minute track from Roy Harper's um, Stormcock album, a critique of dogmatic institutions, particular organized religion, and oppressive government systems. Number one, uh, anti-institutionalism, a attack on the constructive nature of organized religion and political and social political views that demand conformity and make people act a certain way and follow their knowledge to their beliefs, to their alternative beliefs. Does that make sense? Does that make sense of that? You want me to say that again, or
One more time, yeah.
yeah?
For
So
the audience out there.
Exploded.
a attack on conservative nature of organized religion and social political demands, conformity, conformity to acknowledge alternative beliefs. So basically, what he's saying is people are conformed to acknowledge alternative beliefs. Does that make sense, man?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So this is an attack on like you said, like
This is religion.
well that's yeah, part one, and then he kind of combines it with like politics or even political institutions.
Yeah, church and state.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so that's basically one. The same old rock. A
You know,
metaphor.
it's anti-establishment.
That's the whole. Yeah, anti-establishment. That's the whole message. The same old rock metaphor for the title and chorus suggests that while the institutions often claim to offer a brand new solution or combination, they are actually just repackaging the same method of control symbolized by the same old rock in a new slang. Anything on that? Anything on that?
Would that song fit in today's political climate?
I would say so. I mean,
I think
because
so.
it's an attack on government, organized religion. I can break it
Oh,
down
what's
more.
going on right now?
Societal
Right now.
hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
which
perfect
is
for
the
what's
whole
going on
this
right
is the whole
now. It's
album.
perfect
Yeah, and
because what's going on right now. We won't get political, but we all know what's going on with.
right. Well, it criticizes the majority mind, right? So people, in a way, it's also like similar to the song Rush's 2112, where the one rebel or Tom Sawyer, for example, like it's that
Yeah.
same concept. Those songs are anti-establishment, asserting free will,
Hmm.
not being part of the establishment. Um, so it criticizes the majority mind, the authority as well,
Yeah.
that refuses to, and the conservative authorities, like Joe's saying, it is kind of relevant today, arguing that despite superficial changes, right?
Hmm.
Like you said, the one new sling,
Yeah.
human
And
corruption,
as just repackaging the same old methods of control
right?
symbolized by the same old rock in a new sling.
Right. And it's funny because look what he says here. They all along the ancient ways, the thin reflections spin. And he's critiquing these, like, first of all, he's calling any ancient stuff like, like let's say like the New Testament, he's calling them thin reflections.
Wow.
And they say they gather all the times and tides at once we love within, that build the edges round the shrouds that cloud the setting sun, and carry us to other days and other days to no one. To one, and full the single stillness of the mirror that is made by each and every one of all the colors in the shade. Inside each eye is sitting like the sword inside the blade, and longs for once upon a chance to open love's cascade. For here we stand, hand to hand, fighting for the promised land. So he's been very romantic, and he believes in finding the promised land. So Bruce Springsteen has, he's kind of the same concept that Bruce Springsteen's on the promised land.
Yeah.
Um, And then he says, and you try to tell me with consternation that you have found me a brand new lock, right? And
Mhm.
look at that, because you're getting locked into some sort of like institution, you know?
Right.
And then you try to warn me that there's only one combination, one new sling, the same old rock. And then he just goes here. It's just like a takedown. It's so
It's
anti-authoritarian.
crazy. Um, that was a great breakdown. A plea for tolerance beneath the anger. The song is viewed as a call for individual freedom and tolerance against rigid authority. Pretty much what you just said. Historically, in religion references, the lyrics contain poetic stream of consciousness images that reference the promised land and history of war to illustrate humanity's recurring cycle of conflict fueled by ideology. Makes sense, I think. Um, I mean, how do you break that up? I mean, how would you
Wait, wait,
you're
say that last part again, the last part?
so historically in religion references, the lyrics contain poetic stream of consciousness images that reference the promised land and history of war to illustrate humanity reoccurring cycles of conflict fueled by ideology.
Mhm.
I mean,
I love that. Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's like clearly like Roy Harper's like very cynical in terms of like, so he views like anything like, first of all, religion I think takes center stage because he has a lyric, or his friend, a restless mouthpiece, 7,000 years of age, trends to flash a face to shape his ways. Everlasting light is burning bright inside his cage. He's only got to breathe to fan the blaze. So here he's talking about like, like prophets or anybody that tries to teach you something profound.
Yeah,
And then he continues, such a groove to have him here on board her ladyship. The man who makes his living out of bed, such a gas to see him flying through his ceaseless slip. One day, and you're right, this is very stream of consciousness. Someday soon he'll lose his head. And withering in the galleries with eyes fixed on the door, and you and me, and thinks a lot for those who see but cannot stand to walk on any floor, for fear that good is something bad is not. So first of all, this is like stream of consciousness.
insane.
This is a hard song, um, because he's like, and it's strange. And if you didn't tell me that, it's kind of hard to figure out what exactly he's talking about.
Yeah,
It's kind of interesting, but I guess so. A few things here. So first, that same old rock metaphor, like you said, Cheech,
yeah,
is represents the perpetual, never-ending, inescapable burden of historical repetition. Right, the same old rock.
yeah,
Right. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Despite promises of change. Okay, guys, and again, the Who, meet the new boss, the Who thought he was
exactly.
cynically, same as the old boss. Same here. Here's a new lock to cure your anxiety. But humanity is still stuck being on this like same old rock. Like
Right.
nothing's changing, it's cyclical. The societal issues change that nothing has been, it's unchanging.
Yeah,
So nothing has been done. And then like you mentioned like the rejection of authority and convention. So this is
yeah,
kind of like a hippie anthem. I'm not sure if he was like into the hippies, but the song challenges, like you said, the majority mind, the
yeah,
hive mind, the consistent, often blind. So so you guys know that the majority have failed in history so many times. The majority mind, for example, in Greece killed Socrates. The
right.
majority mind killed Jesus. So usually
Mm-hmm.
these majority minds kill like people that bring light. So
Mm-hmm.
he says, so this being a denominator in human affairs, when you blindly follow authority, right? That's a mistake. And they'll try to offer you, that's what Roy Harper's saying. Like they're trying to offer you this, like, we're gonna cure your anxiety. Just, come believe in our cause. And Rush has an answer for this too, an anthem and 2112 and Tom Sawyer. the song. And finally, again, once again, attack on critics and media. I think it's all over the place here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Personal,
Totally.
it's an aggressive response to the critics, like you said, who felt that they didn't understand his work. But to be plays devil advocate, his lyrics are very stream of consciousness. It's like reading. Have you guys ever read James Joyce's Ulysses?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
It's hard because the English and Irish when they write, sometimes it's really hard to penetrate.
Ulysses is probably the toughest thing to read.
Right, right. And um but the point of all this is that one of the lyrics is but loud and clear is the call in black and white across your wall, black and white prison, right? Damn it all, man. Can't you see? And you try to tell me with consternation. Consternation is anxiety that you have found me a brand new lock, that you try to warn me there's only one combination, one you sling. And then
Yeah.
Harper says cynically, it's the same old rock.
Right.
So very interesting song. Very kind of impenetrable lyrically, though.
It's insane.
It
And
needs a
I love the stream of consciousness aspect of it, and like
Mhm.
I get out of it the most like, conformity, getting away from the belief system.
Mhm.
The getting away from religion, getting away from the politics. Then what do you have left then, really? You know what I mean? What's left?
Well, if you follow Harper's view, I don't know, like, but it's interesting here because
Almost Schopenhauer in a way.
well, I was gonna say because it's kind of funny how you have these lyrics like all along the ancient ways, the thin reflections spin, and once again he's carving out the same old rock that is ancient, but
Yeah,
he's calling it a waste.
right,
And then they gather all the times and tides that once we love within, that build the edges around the shrouds, that cloud the setting sun. So he's describing the same old rock and carry us to other days and other days to no one and full the single stillness of the mirror that is made. So this idea of mirror that, mirror reflections, but each and every one of all the colors in a shade inside each eye is sitting like the sword inside the blade and longs for once upon a chance to open love's cascade. For here we stand, hand to hand. And this is the urging of what humans want, fighting for the promised land. Now, like
right.
you said, what exactly this is, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Kind of sounds Schopenhauerian, where the world
does.
doesn't care.
Yeah,
And these people, and Roy Harper's point is, that these people that preach religion. And this is where he gets into where he says here, this is kind of funny here. There is a famous straggler stood on the edge of time who held the staff but did not feel the pain. I think there's a reference to Jesus. He multiplied the mystery with utterance sublime, someone who preached and crossed his heart for those who died insane. All right. His friend, a restless mouthpiece, he's talking about the prophet. So here he's critiquing Christianity, and he calls this Jesus a famous straggler. And then the point of all this here, and then he goes really absurd where he says, "Such a groove to have him here on her on here on board her ladyship, like an alien ship. The man who makes his living out of bed, such a gas to see him flying through his ceaseless slip. One day, someday soon, he'll lose his head." And withering in the galleries with eyes fixed on the door, and who and you and me, and thanks a lot, and those who see but cannot stand to walk on any floor. This is a reference to faith. For fear that good is something bad is not. For fear that good something bad is not a reference to sin, critiquing it. But then Roy Harper says, but loud and clear is the call, in black and white across your wall, you're in a prison. Damn it all. And then he says, damn it all, man. Can't you see? And then he says, and you try to tell me with consternation. And for those people that don't know consternation, it means anxiety. So
right.
feelings of anxiety and dismay. So yeah, dude, it's kind of Schopenhauerian.
It is.
There's like no hope. I don't know what he.
I
It's very cynical.
I'm almost thinking the music is so heavy, we might have
Well,
to like hold
well,
off on doing
right.
it tonight.
And the music tells a different story because the music
Yeah,
is actually really pretty. And
Yeah.
it showcases, like you said, our boy Jimmy Page. The music tells another story.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I'd rather hold off on the music and talk more about this lyric because it's going to get way too heavy.
Yeah, sorry guys, I rambled. I was trying to like figure this song out because it is a little
No,
hard.
no, I think we figured it out, and it's very much either conform against religion, conform against, tell me if I'm right or wrong, conform against religion, conform against politics.
Right. And
And
it's
what,
the same old slang, same old rock.
yeah, because they both are the same old thing. And they're preaching the same thing. Religion is preaching the same stuff. Politics is always preaching the same thing. So what do you have? The same old rock. But
Right.
what do you, that's the essence, right? But
In essence, yeah.
what do you really have though? It's Schopenhauer.
It,
You have
it's
nothing.
it is very Schopenhauerian. Yeah. I am not sure what poetically he was inspired by this. I don't know if you have any, well, I know you're fried, but like I'm just thinking because it's a very poetic song. I just helped you guys out, like figure some
Oh,
stuff.
I mean, Keats and Shelley would be his influences as far as poets.
It reminds me of like who wrote Ozymandias? Do you remember the poem Ozymandias? I could probably search it up. It sounds like that, but um, and just so funny because Joe's and Roy's are funny. You try to tell me with anxiety that you found me a brand new log. Like, guys, here it is. Like, and I love
Yeah.
and he's yeah, and the verse. I guess there's a verse chorus. I guess, but the key takeaway here is like with anger, you can tell. He says here, but loud and clear as the call in black and white. What do the colors black and white usually represent across your wall? A prisoner.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn it all, man. So we're prisoners on the same old rock.
yeah.
So very cynical, very Schopenhauerian. Schopenhauer would then provide his philosophy to try to deal with this. Art is the escape, I think, but Harper doesn't offer a solution. He just ends it rather cynically that you try to warn me that there's only one combination, so only one person knows the combination to this lock. And then when you sling, it's the same old rock. And think of a sling, right?
Yeah, like a slingshot.
Man, these things are never changing, man. Like that's
Yeah.
what he's saying.
Yeah.
Um, he's critiquing everything that, older religious institutions, religious ideas have preached about and politics.
Right.
Um, especially like, and I would assuming some of British politics here, maybe American as well. Um, but
Well,
it's
British politics would have been fucked in the 60s because they never got better. And look,
right.
look at the
No, it
punk.
just
Look,
got
look, look,
worse.
look where it got to the,
Right, right. It just got
Thatcher
worse.
in the mid 70s,
Right, right, and it just got worse there. So it just is funny because but acoustically, we'll talk about the music, I guess,
Yeah, because right
because
now
that's a whole nother story.
we covered so much
Yeah.
lyrically.
Well,
I'm
well,
that
well.
I don't want to rush through the music.
No, I'll shut up. But Joe, what do you think? Any comments on that? Like, this is a hard song though.
Well, did you figure out the Ozymandias? Yeah, Percy Shelley.
Is it Percy Shelley?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
1818 sonnet.
And you said, Cheech, that was an influence?
Yeah. Oh, Shelley and Keats. Yeah.
It's obvious, yeah, but this song is actually a work of poetics. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
dense. It's very dense. And I can see why the modern audience, or I'm sorry, not the modern, the popular audience would be like, I don't know, what do we do with this song?
It's so artsy because it has
Very.
the form of
It's
poetry.
the song is a poem or using poetics to describe the cyclical nature of history. That's what it's doing. But he's cynical. And if I can offer a simplified version, the who's next, meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. That's the point of but more prettier.
Yeah. Or I always forget the Greek tale with a rock, my life every day.
The myth of Sisyphus, where
Yeah.
the same rock falls down. That same
Every
idea.
day. So you can apply
Yeah.
so many different things to this,
Right. And so no, and this song philosophically, and then not to fry your brain, but just one more idea. Philosophically, this absurdism and Schopenhauerianism, his free idea of the world as will, are solutions to Harper's problem. I'm not sure if Harper was well versed in philosophy, but they would offer the existential solutions to his problem of being in the same old rock, the same old sling.
Right.
But this is a heavy song. I don't know what the audience would have like made of
I
it.
mean, this is why Roy Harper did not chart because I mean, unless you're like really intellectual and you're breaking this shit down, listening to it, smoking a doobie, I don't think people were. I don't think people were getting the lyrics.
But Devil's
Stairway to
Advocate,
Heaven, Stairway to Heaven is so much more easy to digest.
it is. And let me tell you,
Right? Right?
because
Just,
it
no,
was written, but let me tell you why. Because it was written by a more sort of like Tolkien optimistic 22-year-old Joe, 22-year-old, 22, 23.
48. He's probably 22 when he wrote it.
So
yeah,
this is so Stairway to Heaven is a I always say Stairway to Heaven, in my opinion, is very Tolkien-esque. I always
yeah.
offer that argument. Very romantic, very mystical, heavy with symbolism. Now, this song there is symbolism, but it's more heavy poetics, where this guy knows what he's doing in terms of poetry. So he's well versed, but at the same time, it kind of makes it kind of like not accessible. It's hard. You really got to think about these things.
But
And in a sense, do you agree with it? I mean, like that's
but it's not absurdism. He's making sense.
no, no, it's not absurdism. Camus offers absurdism as a solution to this. Because
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
we do, Cheech? Right? Absurd. What did Albert Camus say? Commit suicide, right?
Right,
He
right.
says, no, my idea is absurdism. Schopenhauer would say the world has will. What do we do?
Yeah.
What does the human do in the face of this, bleak, same old rock? Yeah, I'm not agreeing with Roy Harper's assertion here, but it is dense. It's just so funny to me what the
I
audience
mean,
would.
the way I look at it is it offers nothing in the end.
offers
There's
and
nothing.
musically it's pretty.
It's beautiful. I mean, God,
That's the
I wish I
irony.
wasn't so fried.
No, I know,
And,
I know. And then Jimmy Page delivers I was hunting for the acoustic solo at solo guitar solo you were mentioning, and I
yeah,
think I found it. So
it's
we'll,
there. It's
we're ready to
there.
talk about next week. Acoustically, it's beautiful. It's complex. It tells another story.
I wonder what Jimmy Page thought of this when he was hearing the lyrics. Like like what like, what? He's a very smart guy.
Dude, I
I
love it.
wonder, like, he probably might have went over his head. This goes over everybody's head
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's almost like a professor. He's a poet. It is like Ulysses in a
Yeah,
sense.
very Ulysses, and especially the stream of consciousness part where he just
Yeah.
starts, you know, just like going, and you really got to
And then
follow.
there's those connections he's putting together. They're
Mhm.
like rhyming schemes, but they're meaningful. There's meaning in there. But in the end, it's you don't have religion, you don't pick politics. What do you really have in life?
Yeah,
You're almost what are you, an atheist who doesn't give a shit about government? You don't pick a party. You don't care about the government. So you are an existentialist. This is an existentialist song.
in a way, yeah. Starting the crisis.
Yeah,
Well, you can't trust in your institutions, but at the same time, he's like it's anti-establishment. So there's like a 60s countercultural thing with it.
yeah. It's crazy. It's like I'm trying to but there's that Schopenhauer pessimism all throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, he's definitely angry. I don't know if this is really him, but he's angry, cynical.
There's
Uh,
nothing positive in this song,
no.
you know. So
And
but the music fools you when
that,
we get
well,
to the
we'll
music.
talk about next week, right? Good. That's where the music tells another story. And I guess he
Yeah.
did it on purpose, right? Trying to
Oh
make these
yeah.
pills easier to swallow.
Yeah. And Joe, I love how you brought up the Keats part. What was that again? The Keats reference?
Just that he was heavily influenced by Keats.
Mhm.
But
Or were you
is
talking
this
about Shelley with Ozymandias?
but is there anything Keats related, Manny, that you see in the song? Like that would point it out? I don't I didn't really see it.
You didn't see the Keats influence?
Um I didn't see a Keats influence in the song. I saw like the what you call it?
Well,
Ulysses. When you said
no, no,
Ulysses.
no. No. Definitely for Ulysses. I see it. But look at this. Look at this. This is one of my favorite poems by Keats, An Ode to Melancholy, 1819. Look at this. No, no, and look, it's kind of impenetrable. It's beautiful. But look, no, no, go not too lithe, neither twist. Wolf's bane, tight rooted, for it, and it sounds like a Roy Harper lyric, for it's poisonous wine. Nor suffer thy pale forehead to be kissed by nightshade, ruby grape of Proserpine, make not your rosary of yew berries, nor let the beetle nor the death moth be. Look, it sounds like Roy Harper. You hear the influence.
Yeah.
See, that poem is kind of like impenetrable if you're not used to poetics. So this is poetry. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It,
It's a
it's
dark.
Harper-esque poetry.
Yeah. It's dark. It's dark poetry. You know what I mean? It's like because I always felt Keats. I mean, that's a darker Keats poem, but his most of his stuff was romantic in a
It
sense.
is. I love the melancholy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Harper is just cynical. So I don't know if I can, but again, once again, but musically, it tells the song is so pretty. Like one of the lines, and I guess I don't know if you guys want to hear, but um, um, where I love his singing on the song is very pretty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
you're gonna talk about it. It's very pretty, and so and he takes advantage of double tracking.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
No. Yeah. I'll get into
But
all that.
but the point is, yeah. So you're right, dude. But I guess Harper was definitely influenced with more of the dark,
Say,
like
wait. Say
poetry,
that again.
the dark poetry, like the
It's
dark.
dark poetry. Yeah. Yeah. But hidden with through good music
Yep.
that basically makes it sound. That's where he gets deceiving. It's like black and white. It's a good example.
Hmm.
Where it kind of weaves in between black and white, where it's dark, but yet the music makes it happy. You know. But in the end, we wind up with nothing.
Yeah. Same.
That's
Yeah. Same old
that's
rock.
I mean, if anything, if you listen to the song after Manny broke it down, great. I had some nice facts. Joe brought up like the Keats thing. You wind up with nothing, nothing, no religion, no politics. So what do we? So that's where the philosophy is, right?
Hmm.
Where do you stand? Where do you left? What are you, an atheist? You don't believe in God? That's what I'm fascinated in. You know what I mean? At the
Hmm.
end, and then you don't have a political view.
Hmm.
So what do what where are you? What do you call that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like my brain is fried right now, man. This was
Now you know what it feels like to be Roy Harper's record company executive,
That's
mentoring him how they can market his product to the masses, and Roy going, "I'm not going to go make take a song and split it in half." And the executive's like, "Well, I'm not going to be able to get you on the radio if you have a 10-minute song."
yeah,
You know?
a ten
There's
minute
no way we can
song.
market this. There's no choruses. There's no the
no.
verse
It's
so long.
crazy. It's crazy. This is a crazy album.
And the
It,
Jimmy Page aspect doesn't help at all.
no, because
You
it's not
think
Jimmy
about it.
Page. It's not really Jimmy Page because
That's
it's that fake
Flavius.
name. Yeah,
It's Flavius Mercurius.
Because I'm
if
looking through the chronology, and you think about it. Led Zeppelin released Led Zeppelin 3 in October of 1970. And the critics were lukewarm to it. They didn't like Led Zeppelin 3, which a lot of acoustic material was on that.
Yep.
So Zeppelin went right back into the studio, and on December 5th of 1970, they recorded Black Dog. So you knew they were going to be rocking, and they were leaving the Led Zeppelin 3 vibe behind a bit. Stormcock came out in May of 1971. So Jimmy must have been working with Roy. I mean, he probably only spent a day with him in the studio doing that work, you know. And
yeah,
I'm really wondering, if Jimmy was picking up guitar techniques from Roy Harper, because
That,
Jimmy was like a sponge. He observed everybody
right.
yeah,
in the studio, at the control board, what they did to make the album
Right,
cover.
because he's Jimmy Page is at Abbey Road Studio. He's watching these great engineers, and
Right.
this is helping him as a producer.
Yeah,
When you
and
think
then
about it, this is like a
and then
learning experience for Jimmy Page to get to the next level, which he
I,
did.
I think acoustically,
Yeah,
absolutely. I think he picked up some tricks acoustically that he would use later on in the Zeppelin 4 sessions. Some of it that wasn't even released until Physical Graffiti.
Mm.
yeah. Amazing what Roy Harper did for
Yeah.
Jimmy Page.
Yeah, that's why I feel so bad for Roy Harper, because one time I looked at a television interview he did in England, and it was mentioned how Roy Harper was an inspiration to people like David Gilmour and Ian Anderson and Jimmy Page and the Led Zeppelin group. And it's like, and then the interviewer had the nerve to actually say, and these are artists that all had global success. Why didn't that happen for you? I think that's a horrible question to ask someone like Roy
Yeah,
Harper. He answered it graciously. I forget exactly what he said, but you could tell he kind of like bit his lip. He took a moment and then he answered thoughtfully.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no way a guy like this could be like a Dylan. It's like after breaking down these songs, it's like, and people didn't care about the lyrics. I don't think, honestly. I think they just put it on and they just liked the way it sounded.
it doesn't sound good.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
where everything I'll go back to Stairway to Heaven. It's digestible. You don't have to be a poet. You can hear what
That
he's
that is
saying.
that is interesting. Like, why is that song, or even like Bob Dylan's Desolation Row, which is
Oh, Bob
11 minutes,
Dylan. Yeah.
but he mastered, I guess, the popular, like, obviously he wrote all his lyrics, but he had mastery of the songcraft, where Harper refuses to compromise. So even if you were to say, hey, Harper, cut these lyrics, maybe make them short,
All
maybe.
Harper did was take stream of consciousness poetry and topics that were controversial and put music underneath it.
Them.
And that's genius.
It's
That's a whole
progressive.
genre. It's a genre,
Yep.
that he kind of invented. I don't think anyone else did anything like this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Um, like it's just it's just mind blowing. Like, it's hard to like fucking you know like my brain hurts. After two songs. Yeah. But we see, like, let's kind of let's end it like this. Like,
Yeah.
we see why he had no success.
Uh, it's obvious.
There's no
Maybe
musical
Same Old
post.
Rock could have been a hit if he made it short. If anything, he should have done a 3 minute version with Page.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Like the possibilities would have been endless.
I
But
think the hors d'oeuvre song could have been more of a success than this song. Because this is like, I mean, well, this two. Notice that there's two topics in each song. This is about religion and government. The hors d'oeuvre song is about music critics and what was the first thing? I forgot now. Music critics
the judicial system.
and yeah. That what's his name? Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
Chessman.
Chessman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's two topics only. We're only dealing with two topics per song, and they're so heavy. It's insane.
I think the Same Old Rock could have been broken into two songs. And it would have,
it's funny. There are different movements in there. I see what he was going though. He's definitely a progressive, like in progressive rock. This is progressive folk. Um, Maybe people were not ready for it. Also, a little connection. Nick Drake, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you guys. Obviously, all his albums are so good. He also was not successful in England. So I guess that style, and he was very cool with different tunings and
Yeah.
very similar to Roy Harper, Nick Drake. I love him. Three records are masterpieces. He was more accessible than Harper, and yet he was not successful. So maybe it speaks to maybe England. Maybe this is wasn't the sound Zeppelin maybe changed Pink Floyd. Even then, Pink Floyd wasn't famous yet. So yeah, so I don't
Well,
know.
Pink Floyd was just getting famous, right? In
I
1971.
don't think they were famous though yet. They actually had some
Oh,
hits with
Metal was great. I love that album.
Well, that came out in 71.
Yeah.
oh, was it 71?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so they were up and coming. Okay, but not I feel like not they wouldn't have the gargantuan well you saw with Dark Side of the Moon with
Yeah.
Kate
Yeah. Yeah.
James. Um but it's interesting. They had 22 song minute echoes and they had more success than Harper. So
I know.
yeah, but to be fair, Nick Drake wasn't successful either. And if you listen to his stuff, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
He should have been, I don't know, maybe they should have marked because in the US you had the burgeoning a rising of the singer-songwriter movement.
Like, all right, I'm just thinking about Jim Croce. Okay. Now, I think Jim Croce is one of the best singer-songwriters, genius.
Time in a bottle. If
Now,
I
when you listen to that, or the song that he wrote to his wife, when they got into a fight, what's the name of that song? I forget the name of it.
is it
Time in a Bottle.
you
I'll
don't mess
put
with
it.
You don't
I'll,
mess with Jim?
no, I'll put it in a song. I think it's called something like that.
All right, so it's
Um,
not Time in a Bottle.
no, it's like, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
but you can hear the story. James Taylor, Fire and Rain.
Oh, dude, even before that, even his first record is
Well,
fantastic.
but let's just take Fire and Rain. We hear the story.
Right, because they have master of the songcraft, like
Yeah,
popular music. Like and James, you know, he was a great lyricist. So
yeah,
like, just yesterday morning, they told me you were gone, right?
yeah.
Versus this, he just goes like it's really dense. Like,
I know.
Harper, and I get it because it's like he wasn't aiming, I guess, to be popular. I mean,
No. And you got to really dig to find meaning in this. Like when you
Suzanne,
hear
what's that line, Suzanne? Just
the,
yesterday morning, they told me you were gone, Suzanne.
the plans we made,
They made put it into yeah. Oh God,
yeah, it's amazing. But it's like Fathers and Sons by Cat Stevens. You
right,
hear it, you hear it. Within
right,
5 seconds, oh God, I'm touched, I'm blown away. I
right.
this is so hard to digest, you know. It's amazing, I mean, it's genius for what it is, and I think what we're doing is great work because we're dissecting it.
We're dissecting. We're making a case for Roy Harper as well as an artist to figure
Yeah,
out how to make his music accessible to people because it
yeah,
is a little. It's hard. Like,
yeah,
and I think we're offering great critiques. Like he should have split Derves into two separate songs, and
right,
it would have been fantastic. This same old rock, one, my opinion, he should have had the first section, um, same old rock. Second section, instrumental with Jimmy Page, because you hear him battle
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
acoustic
yeah.
guitar.
The
It's
battle
really
part.
cool, and you hear the influence, and it's crazy because Led Zeppelin 3 was released in 1970, right, Joe?
Yeah, yeah,
So I mean, they were like interacting with each other. So
I know.
you probably on Zeppelin 4 taught him more acoustic styles, and but anyway, I guess we're in here. This is part one of
Yeah,
Stormcock
and
because
we got through a song and a half, and we've been
I want to
doing
keep
this for like
going.
an hour and a half already. It's unreal. It's
wait,
amazing.
Joe, you want to keep going?
No, but I'll leave you with this. Just picture this scenario. You're in college and you're in the dining hall, and it's like the first week of school, and you meet this nice girl, and turns out she lives in the co-ed dorm, in your same dorm, and you say, "Why don't you come on over and we'll play some backgammon?" So you're going to get to know this girl. All right. Of course, she comes to your room and she says, "Do you want to put on some music?" And you say, "What would you like to hear?" And she'll say, "Well, whatever you want." Okay, so now the pressure's on you. You got to pick out the music. She's going to find out a lot about you by this choice. Here are your three choices. Okay, the greatest hits of James Taylor, Stormcock by Roy Harper, or Brain Salad Surgery by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. What are you going to play for this young girl that you want to get to know by having a conversation? Maybe you'll have her phone number afterwards. and you'll get to study and
And
stuff.
you know nothing about her musical background, like what she
No,
likes.
but you know that you're going to try to get to
No,
know each other,
no,
so
but
you want
see,
to be able to
no,
converse.
exactly.
See, that probably takes ELP out. So this is tough because you have a nice acoustic record by a gentleman named Roy Harper, but the lyrics are like indecipherable
Yeah.
to the
But
common man.
but she's not gonna know that because she's gonna be listening to the song as a song and be like, oh, this is really pretty, and I like his voice. Then maybe a lyric or two will pop into her limbic system, and she'll.
No, but if you put like let's say you've dropped the needle on and or the verse starts playing, the judge sits on the screen
Now
what?
you got to go with James Taylor.
You got to
No,
go
the
with James
James
Taylor.
Taylor
You've got a friend.
yo
Yeah,
seriously any like if you had Joe, which James Taylor record do you have if you ring the girl over? Like
The
which one would you
only
have?
one in the house is the greatest hits of James Taylor,
Okay, like
which
if I
sold 11 million copies, by the way.
oh gargantuan, but honestly, like just alone, James Taylor sets the mood, guys. I mean, I would argue put on James Taylor 1968 James Taylor put on the song Carolina in My Mind, something in the way she moves. I mean, immediately you're gonna get an effect, especially with something in the way she moves.
I would say put on Tarkus and then just try to give her and then try to take her bra right off.
Oh, that would get you far, Cheech. Why
Babe,
don't you just put on Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly and call it a night?
Cheech will put on Black Sabbath.
And go right for the bra straps.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh man, when you lose it, well, you never know. It's a 50-50 shot. It's a 50-50 shot.
But Joe does make a point.
No, he does. Joe's
You're
point is
gonna make
great.
no, and that's the thing is, you put on Roy Harper. Okay, it sounds pretty like ding, 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 and the judge sits in the room. Like
Yeah.
and imagine. Okay, not to imagination. Okay, perhaps you guys are gonna start to kiss, and then he's still singing, and the girl's gonna be like, "What is he? He's still. When's the
Yeah,
chorus gonna come on?"
I know.
And
Well, it
you
depends on is the girl into music. Like there's so many variables too. Like if the girl
let's be
um
honest. But let's be honest. Like in Joe's example, though, like.
yeah, if you
You
know nothing about,
you know the songs that put on the mood. Like you know.
of course you do. You have to be your own DJ in
Right.
that situation.
Yeah, you're gonna lean towards Carole King,
Oh,
James Taylor, Jim Croce,
Yeah.
uh, uh, oh God, Steely Dan was acceptable. I think
yes.
girls like Steely Dan.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Um
You know what? It wasn't until Def Leppard came on the scene that bands could kind of rock out,
That's
but
true.
also, the girls seemed to like them.
Uh
Same
Def
with Bon
Leppard.
Jovi. There were
Right.
girls in the audience. Remember what Getty said? He goes, I get, after they've been together for like 30 years, he goes, things are changing. We're becoming more popular. I'm starting to see girls in the audience.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because only guys saw Rush like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
think of Black Sabbath. I mean, what was their audience? 90% male,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Girls
yeah.
were crazy.
No, Joe. It was 99.9%. You might have that one guy who buy his girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't studied like, the more recent, like, you think of like Slipknot.
Right.
Who
Well,
goes to those
that's a
shows?
great point, Joe, because Def Leppard did change that, and like Motley Crue, um, Guns N' Roses had a big fan, girl fan base, and like, believe it or not, um, and going on later, then girls became very popular with like like you said, Slipknot. There's a bunch of I know it's weird. In the '90s, a lot of girls into Nine Inch Nails as well, for example. But yeah, that's a good point. And sadly, Cheech from Rush would be 100
I
points out
mean,
there, man.
you'd have to get the vibe from the girl what to put on. You know what I mean?
Where do you put a target?
I,
Well,
My
talk about
problem was I was an only child, and I believed that I was the center of the universe, and the sun rotated around me, and therefore, I was the know all, be all, and my choices were the best. Instead of listening, observing and seeing what others like.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, there's not many girls at this Black Sabbath concert, but I know there's lots and lots of girls at the Def Leppard show.
Yeah. 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 I mean,
Dan Fogelberg, classic.
Yeah.
The
but
Phoenix.
when you look at Zeppelin, there was girls at Zeppelin shows. When you look at the audience,
Yeah.
it's a lot of,
If you look at the song remains the same, they were pretty stoned.
yeah. It
I feel
depends.
like, but I feel like those were boyfriends who brought their girlfriends
Probably.
to the Zeppelin show. But Zeppelin had a male audience majority though.
I think in the 70s, most bands did.
The lyrics nowadays would be considered offensive, I think.
Oh yeah, some of the lyrics didn't really age. I'm looking at you, Custard Pie.
But the Beatles, you look at the Beatles, it was all girls. You know what I mean? So it's you know,
maybe the hand. Can you misinterpret? I want to hold your hand.
Right.
Roy Harper never says things like that.
No, he's not.
Weird sonnet.
No, can you misinterpret it? Yeah, no. But all right, guys. On this funny note, though,
this is good, man.
This is part 1, Stormcock.
Part 1,
part 2. I mean, we try to take off the needle.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I would have done the music, but it's so complex. I don't want to rush through it.
Nick Harper, if you're listening to the episode, reach out to Cheech. Help us.
Please comment below. We'll drop our emails.
Because Nick tours with his father when they do shows in England. It's very similar to what Lucas Nelson does with his dad, Willie Nelson.
Yeah, I don't want to rush through the music on this song because Jimmy Page is on it, and there's a lot to it.
Of course, it's an epic song, and the song itself is long. I mean, in a good way. I speak with Joe too. Like we're all prog rock fans anyway.
Yeah.
We love these long pieces, so yeah, it's gonna take some time. But guys,
all right.
This was
all
good.
Right, guys,
very fun.
A lot of good information tonight. So if you get a girl, back to your dorm room, kids.
Stormcock.
Put the Trooper on by Iron Maiden and just jump her bones.
Or play Dan Fogelberg's album, get to know this person, and maybe you'll have a very long and friendly and healthy relationship.
Robert Frost says that the fork in the road split, and I chose the path less traveled on. So which path are we taking, Joe's or Cheech's? Are we playing the Trooper or Fogelberg's album?
And then when you get her in the room and you put the Trooper on, you start to read some Aleister Crowley to her. Then you really got her.
Cheech, man, you're like burying yourself here.
Oh man. On that note, this was a lot of fun, guys. The Temple fried me today, and I think Harper's lyrics are just so deep. Oh my God. And we broke it down, man. He broke it down with the lyrics and stuff. I'm just like, I'm floored. Great episode, guys.
A lot of fun. We'll see you next time.
Definitely. All right, guys. Have a good night, and we'll do part 2. We'll do the music to this one.
Yep, and then the 2 other tracks.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an EP. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, EP, sure. All right. Cheech's closing salvo, Nanu. Guys, I'll see you on the next side and then on future episodes. And thank you so much, Joe, for being on here. And for our fans out there, you're still with us and have your brains fried. Subscribe, like this video, and we'll keep watching the Cheech and Manny show. And Roy, if you're watching, please contact us.
Oh, I'm gonna get in contact with him or his son.
We love you. Cheech is gonna find you.
I'm gonna find him.
He's gonna find you guys. On the same old rock. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night.
Take care. Thanks.
Yeah, so I heard. Wait, so first Jack White coming to the Capitol.
Yeah,
Joe, you were in line to get tickets, and I also know that Cheech is buying us all also tickets.
Yeah, I'm buying everybody tickets. I'm gonna buy 20,000 people tickets. No, this is interesting fact. Joe said 20,000 people were ahead of him, right? Why play the Capitol
That
when you
is
can play Madison Square Garden?
that is a good point. I don't
I
know.
mean, I guess playing small venues is cool, but like, why? Why? You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure you could fill the. I'm pretty sure you could fill a MSG.
If 20,000 people are ahead of you, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. The tickets were gone in 22 minutes.
Did you get some, Joe?
No, I got shut out. But there's
Oh,
a general pre-sale tomorrow. This morning they put on tickets for the venue pre-sale at the Cap.
right.
But yeah, I got the email last night that Jack White will be coming to Portchester on Sunday, July 19th.
Cool.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
why he doesn't play bigger stadiums.
It doesn't make maybe he just wants to play small venues, but like if I'm selling 20,000 people ahead of that are ahead of me and I see that I'm like I'm playing a bigger venue. 20,000 people could fit in the garden.
Guess he doesn't care about making money.
Don't
Which is
scare anybody away from the Capitol Theater. I love it when they come to the theater.
Yeah, no.
oh no,
Well,
no, it's
actually, the
crazy.
argument can be made also why Bob Dylan does that too, because he.
And the guys from the Grateful Dead.
Yes, they tend to because they
Yeah,
could fill out. Well, the Capitol is historical, so I could
yeah.
see. But he could definitely fill out a stadium. I'm pretty sure.
If you have that kind of numbers, you know,
That's a good point.
you
Yeah.
know,
I'm going
interesting.
to check the resale market as the concert approaches and see if I can still, get something as July 19th gets close.
Right, right. That's the secret. Yeah. So, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Jack White. I know, Chris, you love him, Cheech.
Well,
I heard he's your favorite bassist
he plays bass. That's right.
on the guitar. He plays those bass notes, right, on the guitar.
No, didn't you send me a video of him playing bass or
Well, maybe.
something like that?
It's just
He has a bass player in his band.
That's good.
it's
That's
funny
good.
with the White Stripes though. It was just him and Meg,
I think that was the trend at that time.
like
That was,
minimal.
yeah, the minimalistic trying to like just bass and drum. I mean, guitar and drum. Who's the other band you
The
said that
Black
did it?
Keys did that too. They got rid of the bass a little bit.
Yeah, and there was another band that did it.
Hmm,
There was like a movement, just like bare bones, you
right,
know,
right,
kind of thing in the early millennial, I think it
right.
was.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a future science of rock episode, and the
And,
bass
and
is
it-
indispensable.
oh yeah. And it's crazy how Roy Harper with one guitar makes it sound like a one-man band.
Well, that speaks to his like highly technical playing, which he is technical on the acoustic
Oh
guitar,
yeah,
ball
yeah.
string as well. So he's which speaking of Roy Harper, we're gonna continue our Stormcock album
Yeah.
analysis series, album review, album deep dive. I know we left off at a certain place because by the second song, I think most of us were fried.
Yeah, yeah, I
Like
was.
lyrically, um, the song. I mean, even the album it's challenging. I mean, like lyrically. I mean, we did or did I mean? Oh, okay, wait. How do you say it's ode or the verse?
Hors
Hors
d'oeuvres.
That's how you know I'm like not fancy. Oh, or d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
d'oeuvres.
How do you say that in Spanish? And then you have okay, we looked at that song. I think we figured out this both music and meaning.
Yeah. That one we got
That was
down.
easy, but then we weren't prepared for the same old rock, which
Yeah.
lyrically was challenging.
Yeah.
And he's really reaching into deep poeticism.
Yeah.
And this is where we left off. And I just want to like say that Joe, I was talking to Cheech on the phone about this, that the same old rock song is one of his anthems. And the reason why I say that is his manifesto. You know how there's a communist manifesto? Like usually when someone has an idea, they
Yeah.
put out a manifesto. This is Harper's essentially what this song is. And I had to think about this because it's hard lyrically. It's his manifesto, is his takedown of so the way I see Roy Harper, he's like a pirate. He's a bohemian. he's a rebel. He's like the pirate that just wants to sail the seas, take loot, live the pirate's life for me kind of. And this song has that sound. Like if you listen to it, it sounds like something like a sea shanty or something. So
Yeah, yeah,
for me, it's just kind of interesting. But the song itself, it's not just only religion. I think I was a little wrong about that. It's more of him saying, and I was telling Cheech this. Roy is very smart. I don't know if how well read he was, his educational life. Essentially, this is his reaction to a world that the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer built.
yeah,
So this is his manifesto in that world. That's what the song is, lyrically.
yep,
And it's just him saying, be free. Don't you know that it's one new sling, right? And when he says sling, I think we know what he's talking about, right?
yeah,
Sling a rock, it goes,
yeah,
and it's just the same old rock. It's just his manifesto saying that, they're gonna bring you new locks, right? And then he says, then you try to warn me that there's only one combination. That's people holding on to knowledge. So he's accusing of institutions doing that. So
right.
this is just a manifesto. It's actually one of the anthems of the album. I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, Cheech and Joe. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I mean, every song has a crazy theme. You know what I mean? And it's conform like anti-conformity. It's against religion. It's against politics. Um, it goes against the grain. Let's put it that way.
Hmm.
There's really nothing positive
He's
on it.
packing like multiple topics into a song, and maybe that's why they're so long. Maybe that's why it made him even less commercial to the record company.
Well, me and Manny had a theory if maybe he split those songs up, especially on Me and My Woman, and
Yes,
made
because
that
that's
two
three.
songs.
Even he said it. It's a prog suite, but it's three songs in one.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
feel like he could have. I get. And actually, before we get started, I also want to say that he essentially invented a new genre. He invented folk prog.
yeah,
And this is something that sadly did not take off. It didn't take off. He was saying, I was reading in an interview that the record company let him down. Capitol Records was the connecting
yeah,
record company in States. They didn't even bother.
yeah,
So Bob Dylan introduced blues, folk, rock, right?
yeah,
Because the record label was behind him. Roy Harper invented a new genre, prog folk.
yeah.
And prog in the sense lyrically using folk arrangements. So this is entirely new. So I don't think nobody was prepared for this.
No,
And actually, his contemporary, Nick Drake, did something similar, but he also wasn't successful either. This was a new genre. So it makes sense what he was trying to do. The problem is, if he wanted more accessibility, he should have split the songs. Like I think the same old rock should have been two songs.
yeah,
First one is, and he should have shortened the verses, but I feel like he doesn't compromise. But he should have shortened the verses and then included an instrumental passage with Page. Or an interlude. I feel like that would have won a Grammy or something, like
yeah, yeah,
um but at the same time it makes sense. He's a bohemian rebel. I mean, he does what he wants, and apparently in an interview he says that this is the album that I wanted to make.
yeah,
So like Kate Bush's albums, this is the album that he wanted to make.
yeah. He didn't care. He didn't care.
No, no, but it is lyrically it's challenging. Musically, I think it's beautiful. I think you're gonna talk about the music of
Oh, I
Sing.
love it. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Joe, anything else on the lyrics? I don't. I was trying to figure out the lyrics myself out a little bit, but
I don't think anybody struggles with lyrics like I struggle with lyrics and their meaning. I really do. I'm very much not into the ambiguity of stuff, and
right.
it's just it's crazy. It's like I forget if I said it on the last episode or if I just said it to Cheech privately, but it's just like give me I need like a James Taylor song or something to get back to understanding, what somebody's singing about. You've got a
Yeah,
friend, or
yeah.
I mean, gee whiz, it's like, yeah, I guess songs can mean anything. I mean, Robert Plant has been saying for a long time that he was only 22 years old or so when he wrote Stairway to Heaven, and he at that time didn't know what it was about, and he's really not sure about what it's about now.
Yeah.
He was being honest about it. And yeah, I missed the Everly Brothers. Wake up, little Susie. I understood what that one was.
Yeah, I want to
Going out
hold
on
your
the date,
hand.
fall asleep in the car, and now they're going to miss the curfew to get
Right.
home. Their parents are going to get really mad that he didn't
Right.
get the girl home from the movie, in time because they fell asleep in the car. Very innocent. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
great
very much
point.
on the surface. Roy Harper with the British poets. It kind of unfortunately goes over my head. And
Eh, eh,
that's bad because I was actually an English writing arts major as one of my disciplines in college, but I was never one for studying the poetry.
no.
I used to get a
Wow.
kick out of haikus though, but usually the naughty ones.
Yeah.
You want to share one for Chi? Do you want, Chi wants to
There
say
once was a man from Peru
it was
who fell asleep in a canoe. Fill out the rest.
but I agree. I think this is the problem with this album in terms of it's a little inaccessible unless if you don't care what he's singing. It's like I guess I like what you said here, and I would be interesting to hear your thoughts on like when Bob Dylan started out. He started out very simple. He was trying to sing songs in the vein of Woody Guthrie,
Yeah.
but then he got really out there and like
Oh yeah.
and I know Cheech and I shared that when he did that, then lyrically, especially when he started incorporating more of the beat poets like John Kerouac and all that,
Well,
then
the beat poets are in Harper too. You can
oh
you
no,
can
well,
yeah
that's what Joe's saying. This album is for intellectuals. That's the
yeah
problem with this album, and what's strange is that, but it does it's hard. Uh, the only thing that I think saves it, I guess, to put it on is musically, it's beautiful. It
yeah
lyrically, it's dense. He's
yeah
using highly poetical form and kind of like every song will say something about his philosophy. So, Same Old Rock turns out to be a manifesto.
yeah
So it's like his anthem.
yeah
At the end of the day, I think that's what the song is. Um, yeah. And I guess we'll move on again, Cheech musically. Again,
yeah.
this is where
I
the
broke
song is
this
also very
down. I
interesting.
mean, put the needle on the record. 12-minute long song. It's a 12-minute long centerpiece, sprawling structure, complex acoustic guitar work with Jimmy Page playing on this one. It is epic, a complex musical prog folk anthem, shifting movements, unscripted rather than a standard verse chorus format, which we bring up quite a bit
Mhm.
with this guy. Acoustic intensity. There's a lot of nice chords played with the use of heavy reverb and echo on both guitars and voice to fill out the sonic space. Complex guitar work. The song highlights Harper's rhythmic, hard edge strumming and intricate finger picking, influenced by open tune style. Now, I think he's probably the one of the best finger pickers to ever play, next to like a Roy Clark or a oh help me Joe the
Chet
other
Atkins,
yes, thank you.
or
I,
maybe more recently a Vince Gill.
Well, Chet Atkins, like I should be shot. I had not to even think, Chet Atkins, Cascade. Just listen to Cascade, finger picking. Um, you know,
Mhm.
um, and then uh, my fourth point. Anything, man, you want to add?
No, I think you nailed it. I think the interesting thing is this finger picking,
Yes,
which
yeah.
itself is so orchestrated. If anything, one of the albums that people are out there, you need to listen to. This is probably the best. Like it kind of leaves Bob Dylan in the dust a little bit
Oh, guitar
because
wise, Bob
no, Bob
Dylan is
Dylan's
just a
brilliant.
strummer. He's a
He's
strummer.
just, I mean, he's pretty. Bob Dylan's pretty good too, but
Yeah,
yeah, he's on a whole nother level,
yeah, yeah,
and you can hear it. It's literally one person,
yeah,
and he's making all those sounds.
yeah,
It's kind of interesting, interesting, or would be worthwhile to take a look at like where he learned this from. And I think I have a theory that he taught Paige a lot of stuff.
yeah. Or Paige is just observing, like Joe said.
He
He
picked up
watched.
on it,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
especially when you hear songs like he'll start to incorporate it on the electric.
Yeah.
which Harper should have. I think Harper should have done too, but Harper stayed acoustic. But he should have.
Imagine if he played electric, how good he would have
Dude,
been.
this song was meant to
He'd be
be.
like a Mark Knopfler, or you know what I mean, like that
Someone
kind
needs
of.
to make an electric Stormcock. Like, someone needs to electrify it because. And at the end, and I'm sure you're going to talk about it when he trades the licks. And by the way, Paige is playing on the track too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But
At
he's
the
over. He's almost overshadowed.
that's the weird
I
part.
hate
And
to say that.
at the end, the best part of the song is towards the end. I
Yeah,
think it's at like the 8 minute mark or something, where you hear like dun 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 dun. Like you can hear like,
yeah,
man, imagine if they just amplified that.
yeah.
You would have had one of the greatest probably like prog rocks. Like this song should have been like in a prog rock setting,
Oh, definitely,
you
definitely.
know?
I have Jimmy Page contribution. He plays second acoustic guitar in the track. There is a guitar duel, that pirate thing. I like how
I
you
think it's a
analogy.
Pirates anthem.
Yeah, between Harper and Page. Um, the solo Page provides a blazing acoustic solo that o- is is often cited as one of his finest performances in his career by critics. I don't know about that, but that's what I found.
Wait,
Uh,
Paige.
yeah.
Joe, what do you think about that?
I mean, this is what I'm going by what like critics
No,
have
no, it's
said.
interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, well, Page was coming out of that Zeppelin 3 kind of era, and yeah, he was just soaking it all up and doing it acoustically. There's a guy named Bert Jansch that is often mentioned by Page as being an influence. And I wonder if he was quite a finger picker like Roy. Bert Jansch, I think that's his name, or Django Reinhardt. Is that
Oh
another
yeah,
name you heard
well
them?
you get Django Reinhardt had like he had fingers missing,
Yes,
and
yeah,
that's what kept Tony Iommi going. Because after Tony had that accident, he was going to quit guitar, and then someone gave him a Django Reinhardt record and said, "No, no, you can do this." And that was
yeah,
like in the 50s or early 60s. He was amazing. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah. Jimmy was, they call him a thief for borrowing, different styles and all that, but I think that's really unfair. I think Jimmy, took an influence and he was able to make it better.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So,
Definitely. Um. Okay. Now let me see. Vocal delivery. Harper's vocals are characterized by vocal elongations, and that's where the Tull influence comes in, where he gets those notes and he elongates them into the next bar.
Yeah, Ian Anderson. I was gonna say John Anderson. He definitely took it from him because
Yes.
Ian Anderson is he has a very interesting style of singing, like where and he obviously took it from Roy Harper because if you listen to a song like him 41, I think,
Yeah.
he does the same almost that same and he just like holds
It's
on.
amazing how much Ian Anderson took from Roy Harper. It
Yeah.
sounds so much like him.
Dude, Thick as a Brick is kind of like in the style
Yeah.
where I don't know if you two have listened to Thick as a Brick. I think I've heard it for like the 200th time already, so I'm pretty well versed on that. No one listens to like a 20 minute, 40 minute, 20 minute, two side, total 40 minutes, but he has that same style where he just highly poetic, very absurd and obscure, and that singing style, that delivery. Which this album I think where it shines is the influence on people.
Yeah.
I think like and for those that are not used to this type of singing, they're gonna be like what is this like?
Yeah. I know. It's like um so elongations and rage that shifts between sensitivity, fragile delivery, intense rage. He frequently uses self harmonies through double tracking. So he uses his own harmonies in the background and he double tracks them. That's why everything sounds so full. This guy does Dylan didn't sound full.
Yeah,
Dylan was, Dylan was raw, even with a band sometime. This guy, especially Abbey Road Studio at the time, was the number one studio next to Electric Ladyland.
Yep.
I mean, they got the best out of it. And I'm going to talk about that studio innovation at Abbey Roads. The engineer team, Phil McDonald and Alan Parson from Alan Parson Project, expanded the acoustic format by running his guitar through various effects to create a controlled chaos. Love that. Controlled chaos. Um, I got a lot of stuff on this song. Uh, um, Acoustic interludes between vocals passages. The song features complex, sophisticated acoustic guitar work that utilizes double tracking to fill out the sonic space. These sections serve as a bridge that builds tension leading toward the final great vocal and story. So the final movement, the last 3 minute, features a dramatic acoustic guitar duet or battle with Jimmy Page. It's high intensity blues influenced solo. You want to talk about that, Manny, a little bit? That the ending Jimmy Page
Yeah,
solo?
that should have been a separate instrumental like passage. Like I feel like that because this song is weird because it's like I think two songs in one.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on in this song. Like it's definitely like you'll get your money's worth in terms of a song. And then after the angry, depressing, like Schopenhauer world he builds. And vocally, and it's funny because vocally the song is actually um it's pretty sweet. Like it sounds sweet. Like
oh
when he
yeah,
says
yeah, yeah.
when they gather round, he just goes like
Yeah,
it's good. Then the ending, you get like it sounds like a pirate battle. Like I
yeah.
see like Paige, some cool outfit. They're smoking, and then they're in a smoky place, and
It's
it's definitely
amazing.
cathartic. It's like worth.
Yeah,
It's like that. It's a lot of build up, and
yeah,
then I do like it how if it's a prog song, that they left it at the end. That's sort of like the reward
yeah,
or
yeah.
sticking through, right? And it's intense. It sounds like two people like fighting with swords
Yep.
with acoustic guitars.
It is a battle. It's definitely a battle.
Yes, yes. And it represents the song itself, right? The same old rock, that intensity.
Yeah,
It's like a dark acoustic. Towards the end, it turns dark.
yeah, yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it.
When Jimmy is invited to appear as a special guest at a Roy Harper concert, that is the song that they always do. They did it back in 1984, and they did it just a few years ago as well.
Mhm.
And all the years in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy would just come out with the acoustic, and they would just howl on that song.
Wow. Then I have so much on this song, guys. I really went nuts. Lyrically, these themes match the musical section. It supports a attack on organized religion and government dogmatic institutions. Then shifting dynamics of the music mirror the anger covered in beauty that defines Harper's prog acoustic style. Any comments on that? Like the anger matches the lyric. The music matches the angry lyrics.
When he says, "The man who makes his living out of it," like it's actually like you're right because it's a whole suite, and he
Yeah.
plays around with those dynamics where he starts sweet, but then when he has to get angry, you know, he, um, and I love how you said the double tracking. Like he creates these haunting like double track vocals.
Yeah.
Like one example is where he says, and you try to tell me with consternation, and he's like, he does his weird effect on the vocals,
Yeah.
and when he has to sound angry, he like, because it's an angry song
It is. Yeah.
lyrically. He's doing like it's not it's kind of like reading the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx.
Yeah.
Like if you read, it's actually very similar in tone. Yeah, so it's a strange song. It's his anthem. Like he
That's-
created his own anthem.
Um, yeah, he really did. I mean, if you want me to go on, I have a couple more like
Yeah,
where
go, go.
I just broke it down. You know, this is my second
No, go and
listen.
we'll comment on it.
So this is my second listen to it because I listened to this like 5 times. So the intro is atmospheric, great picking, 12 minutes long, light organ in the intro. I don't really hear it, but it's supposedly there. Um, it begins with Roy's solo acoustic guitar, setting a pulsating, meditative mood through the open tune guitar work. The music focuses on space using reverb and echo effect. The main verse then moves into a rhythmic folk progressive structure where Harper delivers a poetic rant. These sections are characterized by unique vocal styles, shifting from fragile delivery to powerful upper range. Uh, the recurring refrain emphasizes um, the theme. You try to tell me that you found me a brand new lock, one sling, but the same old rock. You know, that's pretty much like breaking it down, you know.
Hmm.
Anything on that?
I think you got it, Cheech.
I listened to that song like I mean, talk about like earworms. It was in my head for
I
like
know.
5 days at the temple. You know, I was just like, what? It- It's amazing that song. I mean, it's so good. Um,
I feel like somebody needs to make like a shortened version.
yeah. I
That'd be really
mean,
cool. Like if there was like another folk artist to cover the song, make it short.
is there
But
any good
like,
modern folk artists like a young Roy Harper out there?
uh, not that I know of. I mean, they're out there. I mean, but it would be. I mean, how YouTube covers of this song maybe. It's interesting. I
Mm.
wonder if anyone would cover it.
Like you don't see it like you did in the '90s. There was like a folk, you know, kind of folk like someone like Jewel. I always like Jewel, the girl singer. She kind of brought back that folky kind of sound. You know, you don't even see that anymore in music. You know,
Oh, nowadays, no. That's kind
it's
of
like
like that. That kind of
yeah,
died. I feel like people don't have the patience for that kind of music anymore.
yeah. You know, this is funny. My cousin Jessica in Arizona, she told me this funny story. She it was her birthday day or two before mine, and she went to go see what she thought was a Motley Crue tribute band. They were called Yachtly Crew. But you know what they played? Yacht rock.
Yeah, it's in the name.
She was like, "What?" You know,
She should have watched the Cheech and Manny episode
I
of
don't
Am
think she
Gold.
realized yacht rock, but Yachtly Crew. You know, like, oh my God.
I would have seen a mile away. But I will say, but Jules' type of acoustic is not Roy Harper's though.
No,
I would
no,
argue
no,
it's not even Bob Dylan's because
no, no.
not
There's no
even
one
Woody.
like it.
I don't know how you guys feel if you guys are folk purists. If you read Bob Dylan's Chronicles, he talks about how he thought folk music was the pinnacle of music, according to Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
He thought Woody Guthrie was like a prophet, like
yeah.
and he studied all the songs. Roy Harper too. I would be interesting to know what his influences were
I
because
don't know. You know,
it's kind of mysterious. I think I have a theory. He's his own person.
yeah.
He's actually an artist.
Well, I know his influences. I think I mentioned them when we like Lead Belly.
No, but that doesn't.
Um,
This doesn't sound like Lead. You think it sounds like Lead Belly?
I'm trying to remember his
Well,
like
actually, maybe. Okay, I can see that.
you know like
Lead Belly.
some of his they were bluesy and they were like Bartok. There was some like classical influence in there.
Yeah.
Like, you
I,
know.
I think he has more influence from classical jazz. He plays a lot
Oh
of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
jazzy
yeah,
rhythms. But this kind of folk, if you can call it that, is, I mean, I think Joe made a good point at the time. James Taylor was up on the rise.
yeah.
James Taylor is no slouch on the acoustic guitar.
Oh, he kills it.
He is really good, and yet he's more accessible. Even a heavy symbolic song like Fire and Rain,
Yeah.
which is very symbolic. Cat Stevens, he's no slouch on the
Oh,
acoustic guitar either.
Cat Stevens is one of the like he's my favorite.
He's probably one of the masters.
Yeah.
So essentially, why Roy Harper? And I'm being sarcastic here. I think we should why he wasn't.
Well, okay. When you listen to Fathers and Sons, right? Okay, by Cat Stevens, you start to cry within like 2 minutes, 30 seconds in, right? You know, you hear just the melody. Forget the lyrics, right? Roy Harper doesn't give you that. You got to think. Wait, what is he saying? I'm not
No,
feeling any.
and
I
he
don't feel
takes
any emotion.
and he takes his time. I mean, just think about it. You need to sit to 12 minutes of a song.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because I mean, I guess that's actually one of the criticisms against progressive rock.
yeah,
That was always one of the criticisms launched against that genre. That
right,
why do you need to do a 20-minute song? Like, why can you just, what's the point of that?
yeah,
And I guess Roy Harper, I guess you can kind of argue that as well. Like, why does this song need to be 12 minutes? Right? Or because it is a challenging listen, like in terms, but you really have to like listen to it.
right.
Um, but in the folk genre, like I guess it would kind of fit. Um, but I know what I understand about folk music, it isn't it usually short songs,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So again, it goes back to my thing that he invented a new genre, folk,
yeah.
prog folk. That
Baroque folk.
no, I would no, I think Baroque folk is more catchier.
Yeah, yeah.
Baroque folk is
That's
beautiful. It's
yeah.
actually more. No, I'm not saying that his music is not beautiful, but it's more
Well,
catchy.
yeah. He's Prague folk. You're right.
Like
Prague.
an example of Baroque folk would be like
Nick
Nico,
Drake.
Nick Drake, and
Yeah,
Nico from Nico and the Velvet Underground. Nico, the German singer.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
that is the Baroque folk.
yeah.
Judy Collins as well. I think that was her name, Judy Collins.
Yeah,
She released a great album, kind of like orchestral, folky, which Roy Harper does the same. The only difference is that again, he was making a new genre.
yeah.
And I don't think he's like another like television where he just didn't fit in.
Oh, he's so much like television.
He
Marquee
just
Moon.
he
Yeah.
does and he had the worst luck in terms of his albums. Like
Well, he's exactly like television.
I think he is a television kind of like
Yeah. Because
man.
Verlaine turned down Brian Eno. And we've talked about if Verlaine went with Brian Eno, they could have been like the Cars.
They could have been the next big new wave act.
Yeah, yeah,
So Roy Harper he there it's a great album for sure. And we're only on the second track, but and this is side one, right? And already he's making statement. It's the song's length are epic.
yeah,
And Dylan was smart not to do too many of these. Now Dylan has like the 12-minute like Desolation Row,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
or he was smart because he's always been smart like that. But
yeah.
yeah, Dylan too, going breaking with the folk um forms as well, and especially with Sad Eye Lady of the Lowlands too.
That's a great one.
The
Yeah,
only
we good
difference
stuff.
is that Dylan is more nostalgic and more melancholic.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He's relatable. Harper, not so much. He's like
No.
angry, like you said. That's a good way to say
I,
it.
I had to
Angry.
dig. I had to really listen to these lyrics, dig, listen over to understand what he's even trying to make out of it. And it's angry. Really angry. And this one is going to get really angry. You want to move on to the
Yeah,
next one?
so we'll turn the record over and then begins old one man rock and roll band.
Yes. Okay. Okay. The hypocrisy of violence, both war within the peace movement. I'm sorry. The hypocrisy of violence, both war within the very peace movement that intended to stop it. This song is a meditation on the madness of war. He criticizes the peace movement for breaking out into full-scale riots. He references the 1968 anti-Vietnam War protests the governor in Governor Square. I guess that was in England. Um, he said the marches would have been more effective if they walked peacefully behind World War II vets rather than engaging in street brawls. So what do you think of that? Like he's saying that the riots, like they're having a peace march, but they're breaking out into riots and
Mm.
they're fighting over the war, and stuff. So is there any peace in that?
Hmm.
You know,
It's like an indictment against like the hippie peace movement against war,
yeah,
but
yeah.
ironically themselves use like violence to.
They're using violence when they're trying to do anti-war, which is happening today, of course. Um, so Governor Square, I guess that would have been like a big peace march in England. Um, you know, um, and he said that the marches would have been more effective if they walked peacefully behind World War II vets rather than engaging in street brawls. The cycles of war. So the song addresses the lack of a hero's welcome for the returning soldier, noting that they are often treated with the same disregard at home as they were on the battlefield. I like that.
Mm.
You know how many Vietnam vets came here and they were called horrible names, they were spit on, they became addicted to drugs, homeless. I would see them when I was a kid in the streets, like homeless people, and it was so sad. And they didn't want to go. They were just poor kids who didn't go to college, and they had to go and become killers in one of the worst wars ever fought. Any comments on that?
I just remember a story about Don McLean, of course, of American Pie fame.
Yeah.
He actually was booked to play at West Point in front of the cadets, and he could have just played a straight set, but he had to say something, and he said, "I know the Christian thing to say that I love you, but I don't love you." And he was at West Point talking to guys that were going to graduate and be leading men into battle. I think that is unbelievable. To have the balls to do that in
Yeah.
that venue, I don't know. But apparently, Don McLean really did that,
Wow.
and yeah, that's how divided the youth culture was about the Vietnam War.
Oh yeah. He should have been saying that to the politicians. you know?
Yeah, well, we left that for John Fogerty.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't no senator's son.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so
And,
true.
and
yeah.
Country Joe and Fish for the people. I ain't gonna die in Vietnam. Well,
Yeah.
there's one. What are we fighting for?
I know. I mean,
I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam.
Now,
it's crazy.
so when we do these songs, and he talks about anti-war and well, whatever the topic is, like how would that song fare if some young artist put it out today? You know,
About what's going on now, like an
about what's going on. Yeah,
Iran.
because from what I understand, the draft it's not going to be reinstituted, but the way that they sign people up, the young kids,
Yeah,
it's changing. It used to be, I know that when I had to sign up for selective service, I just had to go to the post office and I
yeah.
had to register, and sign something. But now,
Did you get your draft card in the mail? I remember getting mine when I was 18.
no, it never came to that. It never came to that. It could have. There were some serious problems in Lebanon. And I think that there was an American barracks that was bombed, and a lot of soldiers lost their lives. And there was talk that we were going to get more heavily involved in the Middle East, starting with Lebanon. It's
Yeah.
just like today, really.
Yeah, I remember I used to get into like little divey bars with my draft card, and they would let me in with it was an ID,
Oh wow!
I mean I wasn't I didn't get drafted, but we had to get one. I remember when I turned 18, they sent it to me.
Yeah, I didn't research it, but I know that it's going to be an automatic process.
Hmm.
They don't have to go to the post office or anything, but it's done automatically. And I'm like, the first thing we're all wondering is, um, the president's son, Barron, actually fits into that age group category. Will he
Yeah.
be signed
Well,
up potentially for a draft process?
if I can, like you did before, quote the great Creedence Clearwater Revival. It ain't me. I ain't no politician's son.
Exactly.
Most likely, no. But unless he signs up. And just to comment on you guys, what you guys are saying, it's interesting because I like what Joe says. What if an anti-war song came out today, right? What would that look like? Because you're kind of seeing it with the protest songs in a way, kind of, but I'll be honest with you, there's not really much protest music. The only ones that are doing it are the old hats, like Springsteen,
Yeah,
with the song Minneapolis, but more of the over here. But in terms of people actually doing songs to protest, let's say the Iranian war,
yeah.
there's not
Nobody's doing it.
nobody is doing it. So, and if I can quote one man rock and roll band, welcome home, the war is over. Welcome back, the coast is clear. Welcome home, oh Johnny soldier. We treat you here just like they treat you over there. So it's
Yeah.
she's kind of to
Hmm.
your point.
Yeah.
Um, and does would that does song sound relevant today? Well, I it's interesting because I'm not saying okay, we had the Iraq War, and there was actually a bit of protest music in that time. It was like 2008,
They
but
even further back, with Bush, what was it? With Saddam Hussein.
right, right. That's what I meant. Starting with Bush, and then
They made a they redid "Give Peace a Chance,"
right, right,
and
right.
they
They
did
kind of
like Lenny
resurfaced,
Kravitz was on it and a bunch of
right, but
people.
using
Yeah,
John Lennon's
yeah,
anti-protest song,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you is that no one really makes music like that anymore. It's
It's
all the
sad
old
because
hat.
I don't think they care. It's
Young
about
people,
entertainment.
young artists
No.
don't. So if there was a draft, it's kind of interesting because most, let's say if you apply for student loans, you actually sign up. You have to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So that's how they do it now. And there is, when you turn 18 and register to vote, it's just, yeah, like Joe said, it's going to be like electronic,
I
um,
have an idea. How about
or
instead of
AI is
young
going to pick it.
no, no, how about this? Instead of having these young kids go to war, how about these fucking AI robots going to war? Let them go and fight like a Star Wars movie. You know what I
And
mean?
the droids,
Send the droids, not the
and
humans.
R2D2.
Send those
Dude,
motherfuckers.
they already have that. Drones, they already have it.
Yeah,
They
no,
have
but I
the
mean,
drones.
actual.
They have those robot machines that can detonate bombs safely without humans being near that area.
Yes. Yes.
Insane.
I do wonder what a war is going to look like now because it's happening, like for sure. But
Well, I've seen reels. I don't know if it's AI, but it looks like a video game. Some of these when they're shooting the bombs and stuff. Have you seen these reels?
could be, yeah, like this what they see, right? The person
Yeah, it looks
going,
like it's really scary for the
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I saw one. This poor guy, his plane crashed and he got out, and people were running towards him, and they were Iranians, and they helped him. An American soldier, it's crazy.
There's definitely like this song is definitely war protest.
Oh yeah,
And it's actually one of I think it's one of the most successful songs.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you guys would agree, but
So I
women
think
rock and roll.
I don't know if I said this already. The lack of a hero's welcome, which you kind of mentioned, often treated with the same disregard as home as they were in the battlefield. Um, Institutional responsibility, a recurring figure, Cardinal Doomsday. That's a lyric in there. Represents religious and political leaders who sign their names to any war. Harper's lyric suggests these authorities exploit human conflict for their own racket. I don't know how you feel about that.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Classic Harper.
Yeah.
He blames religion and politics. It is like really funny.
And
Cardinal
now,
Doomsday, full
I
band.
mean, I don't think any religion is going to be for war. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
gonna be against it. Look what's going on now with the Pope and
right,
everything.
right. I wonder what like Harper's opinions now too on this subject
Oh, I
matter.
would love to know how he
Kind of
feels.
like what does he feel? Is one man rock and roll band relevant to
And he
today?
could be vocal. Now is his time. Look at Robert Fripp and all these
No,
people on Instagram. You know how vocal Roy Harper could be?
no, no. And one of the lines he has here, and you tell me that granddad was a hero, that he fought for peace and no more guns. but you know, I think he must have changed his name to Nero. Like this is like once again angry. Like it's
Yeah.
not, and he's making certain statements.
I have that in here somewhere. I have that. Yeah.
And the way he sings it, and you tell me the granddad was a hero. Like I actually like his vocals on this song. Like
Yeah.
again, does that inflection you were talking about like that. That he fought for peace and no more guns. Like he has a great singing style. But
Yeah.
it is a war, protest against war. But I want to ask you, why did he name it Cheech? Why did he name it um we're the one man rock and roll band?
Oh,
Is that a
I'm gonna
reference to him?
when I get into the
Okay,
music,
okay,
I'll get
okay.
into that.
Okay.
I got more on the lyrics, which you probably nailed already, but um oh wait, I'm sorry, am I doing music now? The I'm confused here.
I think you were still in the lyrics.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's funny. I have that point right here. The one man band concept musically, the title Harper gave. He believes that as a solo artist with an acoustic guitar, he is as powerful as a progressive rock band, which he is.
Yeah, well, first of all, uh cocky. No pun intended. That's
Yeah.
that's very wow. And I can see, yeah, I can see that. And he has a point. I mean, he's very outspoken. I think he's outspoken. Like,
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you get the right combinations of musicians acoustically, it feels like you're in a band. I've done it. I've
mm,
experienced it with the poetry that I did.
well,
Me, the Morning Star Project, just
right.
bass and a heavy poet, and had a lot of effects. The poet was Bruce Merritt, great poet, and had a lot of effects on my bass. I did it with acoustic bands, just me and an acoustic player, Ronnie Wisdom, and it was you. Once you're in it, if you're used to being like in a metal situation, it's boring. Not the poetry thing. That was something different. That was, when you play acoustic bass to an acoustic, is boring, and you're like, oh, I need the power. But after you start doing it, and you get good at it, you forget that you think you're in a band. Your
Well,
brain,
well, I was gonna say it's very similar to when I saw, again, I think that's the folk. That's why if um for those that went to the club where Bob Dylan was, what was that club's name? Oh, what was that club in New York?
Toad's Place? A
What was it called?
club. Toad's Place.
no, no, no.
No, no, that famous
Okay.
club where
Cafe Wano.
Cafe Wa.
Yeah,
Okay.
Remember how they had Bob Dylan in his chronicles says that when he went up there and he saw these acts, like you said, just acoustic for him, he was like, you know,
yeah,
transfixed. And he himself, he has famous performances. For example, Masters of War. I mean, just
yeah,
imagine him, you singing like you master, especially now. Like if you went up, like, come on, you masters of war, and like it's so simple. Like you said, like it sounds simple first, but if you're playing that, you are a one man rock and roll band,
yeah,
like
yeah.
taking that stand. So this song is
Right.
also defiant in that way,
Yeah,
and I feel like Vory perhaps is saying that maybe rock and roll can save or make a statement. I'm not
yeah,
sure, but it's like the idea in there.
yeah. Manny, I may have to pause for a second. I have a little emergency here.
Okay.
Just give me 3 minutes.
Do you want to do like a break right now without like do you want me to pause? Wait, I'll pause. Wait.
Yeah, yeah, pause it because I don't
Sorry.
think I'm going to be long.
Interruption. Wait, resuming. I hear the
All right.
conversation.
Uh, no, Joe asked, does Roy use like English,
Like
like
idioms? No, I
bullocks,
don't
things like
think
that?
so.
No,
Nah,
no.
he's just like very poetic. Like,
Yeah, it's more Keats and Shelley
I mean,
and
look what he
like,
does here. Um, I actually love this line though. You know, we're the one man rock and roll band on your very last one night stand. What's a one night stand?
oh God.
So you need to understand. So look what he's doing here. Rocking the boat and unrolling the note on
Mhm.
which your friend Cardinal Doomsday
Yeah,
can land. Here, for example, Cardinal is definitely a reference for a red hat wearing high official of the church. In
yeah,
this case, I think it could be also of the Church of England, the evangelical.
yeah,
Doomsday. doomsday apocalypse,
Right.
right? In land, and here he's talking about like I think atomic warfare as well, like or whatever he's talking about. But yeah,
I,
he's
I
using
have
it's not. I don't think it's no English phrases.
I have Cardinal Doomsday describes Harper as a close quarter assassin representing the church and state's response to reason.
Well, that could make sense because what does Cardinal Doomsday do, right? In terms of bringing doom, revelation, apocalypse to
Yeah,
people, right? And
yeah,
that's another great kind of like stab at religion.
yeah. I mean, I think lyrically we covered a lot, right? So
Hmm?
we got what this song is about. It's an
Anti-war protest.
anti-Vietnam War song. You know,
You know, it's funny
definitely.
though, but it's funny he doesn't really mention anything obvious about the Vietnam War, even though it's obvious in this historical context.
Yeah, yeah,
But the song, he's smart for that because it becomes sort of like a little bit universal.
yeah. It could be any war. It could be Civil War. It could be, World War II. Who knows? That's a good point.
And I love the line, but you know, I think he must have changed his name to Nero, to the
Yeah,
reference to Emperor Nero of
the,
Rome.
the grandfather. But
Right. And he's
yeah, yeah,
calling his, and in that, I don't know if he's not talking about his granddad. What he's saying is that, you know how we say our ancestors fought for our country? He's
yeah.
calling them all bloody butcher, psychopath killers because Nero was a psychopath emperor
Right.
in Rome and caused the bloodshed of a lot of Christians at the time.
Yeah,
A lot at the time. So he's so complex. Like
yeah.
he's not using any like British idioms. It's just like high poetics.
He knew his history. He knew his poetry.
And
He knew.
compare that song to John Lennon's All We Are Saying is Give Peace a Chance.
Well, it makes John Lennon is simple. It's digestible.
Compare to, or even like Imagine, it's simple compared to that.
Yeah, it's
For Harper is
digestible.
at another, this is like music for
But
academics.
melodically, this is just as beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I
You
like the
know,
singing na 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 na
he's
na.
got such a sweet voice,
He does,
soothing. You
but
know.
under that, I love what you said way back when anger, like
Oh, he gets angry.
anger,
Angst,
sarcastic.
angst.
Maybe
Um,
he has that British dryness, Joe, like that classic British, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, when you bouncing back to Nero, wasn't he the one that played the fiddle while Rome burned?
That's him. That's him.
So I was
Famously.
wondering if that
I
was a
actually
myth.
really believe that, yeah, and he was the one that caused he blamed the burning of Rome on the Christians, which led them to get slaughtered even more. While he was playing, there's a couple of theories. One is actually the fiddle. So a lot of people thought that he was the Antichrist himself, like the devil himself.
Yeah.
And another theory is that he was playing the lyre. So that's another theory. Um, but yeah, he was just crazy, psychopath. So what Roy is saying is, he says that, and again, the example would be how we're taught that our ancestors fought for our country, right? And it's kind of disrespectful though, in a way too. Like
Yeah.
Roy's not, he's like not,
You don't care.
he doesn't care. He says, listen, you said that my granddad was a hero, but I think, I think he changed his name to Nero.
Yeah.
So, and you know what he says here? You see, because every time he grunts, he kills his sons. And when you stood there with your mottos on your knuckles, right? Because people have, Uncle Sam wants you, like these
Yeah, yeah,
mottos,
yeah.
right? Like those mottos that are supposed to be patriotic. He says here, they were all so really pleased to see you there. Well, don't you think you could have taken Granddad and his medals and played a different game in Grove's? I don't know what Grove is in or Square is. It's just like a protest song, like in a way.
Yeah.
I think lyrically, it's not bad. It's not bad.
No, it's pretty good. I'll get into the music. So 7 minutes and 23 seconds, a prime example of epic progressive acoustic style that Roy Harper pioneered. I guess we could say that he pioneered this. There's no traditional rock instruments on the album, no bass, no drums, no electric guitar. Instead, it relies on Harper's sophisticated, great acoustic guitar work to create a wall of sound. Guitar technique and tuning is tuned to D A D G A D. So he's tuning down. This tuning gives the idea, feel, uh, gives, oh, I'm sorry, idea, if I could read my own handwriting. This tuning gives it an Indian feel, and he puts wah wah filter guitar that provided a a a simp a simple, oh God, I can't speak, a a offbeat rhythm that drives the momentum of the track. He layers and multi-tracks his guitar, and he multi-tracks all of the acoustic guitars to mix in unison to create a dense, immense sound that mimics a powerful band. Harper's voice is used as another instrument, altering between um, tender, furious tones, and he employs vocal, again, this word that I learned, elongations and phrases that sit on top of the rhythmic guitar figures. Um,
In the Indian sound, you're right. It does have that sound.
that's a
Ding
tuning.
ding
Yeah,
ding 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 ding. Like it has like especially at the beginning.
yeah, that open
And so it's
tuning.
like ding 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 ding. Like
Yeah,
it has like
that
a yeah.
motif has that motif
And,
running through it.
and you mentioned those tunings. That's a big thing
Yeah.
on the with what makes it give that the very distinctive sound. I think that's across the pattern with Harper's
Oh yeah.
those open tunings and different tunings.
Oh yeah. That's a very unique thing he had. Syncopated rhythms. The song rides on tense syncopated beats, creating a sense of urgency that matches its anti-war lyric conduct. Reverb and echo. The production involved the engineers by Alan Parson uses massive amounts of reverb and echo on the vocals and guitar to give a performance on a grand scale. Uh, Pretty much. Let me grab more. Oh no, I got more. I got more. Jesus, I went nuts on this one. Uh, um, Let me see. Okay, so the lyrics that we mentioned, one more rock and roll band, one very last, one night stand. You already quoted that. You know, the Cardinal Doomsday. The middle section, the Governor Square protest. The mood builds up in intensity with fast picking and aggressive rhythm. Lyrics critique the peace movement in the generation divide, the reference from the famous 1968 Vietnam. He does, he does mention Vietnam in this song. That Governor Square Park protest. In England, you would know that, you
Hmm.
know. Um, so 1968 Vietnam protest song in Governor Square Park that turned into a riot. He comes to a grandfather, you said this already, supposed to fight for peace, the Roman Empire, Emperor Nero, we talked about that. The bridge, it gets soft. The music, and he sings in a falsetto tone. Now that's different for him.
Hmm.
He goes into that falsetto tone, then a sonic hurricane, the finale, the the day in a life outro. This is funny. I sent this to you, Manny.
Hmm.
Now, the strings and intensity peak before a dramatic crash of a piano that is compared to the ending of the Beatles' A Day in a Life. So do you hear it?
I think so. And he has like the awkward where moment where it's like a few seconds of just like it's just like a piano line that just lingers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I feel like there's a few like 40 seconds of like I don't know.
Not going. Yeah. Outro, the track fades out on a long drone, paired with noodling guitar, leaving the listener in a meditative state after the preceding chorus. That's the part you're at right now, you know.
I know
So
that Jimmy loved to use the drone
oh yeah. Oh
droning
yeah,
sound.
yeah, yeah. Well, that goes back to his love for Indian music too. Both of them.
Mhm.
Because in Southern Indian music, there's a drone that just keeps going, a bass note, and then they just riff over that note, you know. So so that's it on that song. Any questions on the music?
No.
Yeah, I listen to that one a lot.
Yeah, wait. You said there's is that oh yeah, you're right. At the end,
Yeah,
right? And then it's like in the day in the life, right? Like ding,
yeah, yeah.
and he does it awkward. And it does that
That's
weird thing at the end. Remember that at the end of the day in the life, like
hmm
um okay, yeah, definitely influenced by the Abbey Road setting.
yeah, that's where it's supposedly, been influenced by that song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beatles
Oh.
influence there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Right. So me and my woman, I think we said this was our favorite song,
Mhm.
you know. Um 13-minute long epic. Are we done with that? Any more questions on
No, we're good.
yeah.
On to Me and My Woman, which
Yeah.
is that the one, another one that's like three songs in one?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like this is definitely the Prague song.
Yeah. This is
And he
20
wonders why he didn't get played on the radio.
this is his
Yo,
2112.
how would you play this on the radio? Like
I
I don't even
know.
know how you would do it. Maybe this one, maybe like the first 2 minutes.
I never got radio play. I don't think. Maybe now
It's
on,
funny, Joe, Cheech and I were saying that we never heard of Roy Harper just from that Zeppelin 3 track. Hats off to Roy Harper and just his inclusion on Have a Cigar.
yeah.
He definitely never got radio play, as far as I know, from well, my radio. But
No. Well, he did with the McCartney song.
did
That
he have
that
a
that
did he,
chart.
did he have a video on VH1 Classic?
What do you mean? Well, the
Did he
McCartney
have
song
some
came.
video that rotated on VH1 Classic?
No,
You
no,
know,
he
VH1
never.
Classic used to air like the old.
Yeah, no, no. He never made it that far. No.
I wonder what if he filmed like an MTV video.
Like in an
Well, he did the
unplugged.
one with Jimmy Page where they took them out into the middle of the country and there were lots of rocks around, and they did the same old rock. And the guy interviewed Page and Roy Harper, and they played the song, and that was on MTV.
Yeah.
All right, all right. But imagine if he made like a MTV video, like Springsteen or Michael Jackson, or
Yeah, if he actually made a video
actually made a
with
video.
Jugular, he could have done that with Jugular.
He could have,
It was
yeah, he should have.
available. It was available. And the songs, Joe, you would maybe you agree with me. They they they're not long. They're not. There's some short songs on there. He could have done a video.
For
May-
Jugular,
Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe
he
he
did
didn't.
do one. There's a video out there for advertisement. Believe it or not, I thought I might have sent it to you. Maybe I didn't.
Like an MTV video,
It
a promotional.
well, it might have been promotional, but
Yeah,
it's quite amusing.
that
Yeah.
song's bizarre. Oh my
They definitely
God.
need to do like a video for a Stormcock song or something. Just make it 13 minutes.
Yeah,
But this song, I'm not going to lie, this could have the beginning, maybe like 2 minutes, could have been radio worthy.
me and my woman. Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's a shame he should have like separated it.
I
Like,
know. 13 minutes long. Um, 13-minute long epic prog acoustic track closing out the album is a personal love song blending intimate themes of relationship with the broader concern about humanity's place on Earth. Now, right there's two songs.
yeah,
Humanity's place on Earth and a relationship. That doesn't fit together. It doesn't make sense logically, you know?
I think he just fit it. I don't know what his creative process was, but yeah, it should have been like two separate songs.
Yeah. Personal relationship. The song is based on Harper's breakup of his first marriage with his first wife. I didn't get her name. in his reflections on their shared life with their son Nick. It captures shades of gray in a long-term relationship and the anxiety of a major life decision. Now, second one, the second verse is environmental and humanity. Harper describes the song as a question about human longevity. What are we doing with the planet? It warns of environmental collapse driven by pursuit of wealth, power, using relationship as a lens to view the wider social questions. Now, think about that. How do you feel about that? Want me to say it again?
Yeah, say it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, his first wife's name was Monica Wester.
Monica? Okay.
Wait, is she mentioned the song?
No, no.
Wait, so this song is wait, does he mix the environmental message and the divorce in it? Like, is that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like,
I'm gonna get
wait,
there.
is he trying to say okay, so is he trying to say like the divorce is like his stance for nature or
I don't know. I mean, environmental and humanity. Harper describes the song as a question about human longevity. What are we doing on the planet? It warns of environmental collapse um, driven by the pursuit of wealth and power, using a relationship as lens to view a wider social question. Kind of weird.
me and my woman? Thank goodness it sounds pretty.
Yeah. You want to try to dissect that or just let it be,
Well,
no
well,
pun
what
intended.
Well, it's funny because first of all, this is okay. Me and my woman, at first glance, you're thinking, all right, this is like Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, right?
Yeah,
Right. Or maybe like a Desolation Row. Right. So
yeah.
we're used to this. And honestly, it starts out really pretty. Like din 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 din. Like it's just him on solo acoustic. And straight off the bat, he says here, I never know what kind of day it is on my battlefield of ideals. Do you know what that means?
Battlefield of ideals.
I never know what kind of day it is on my battlefield of ideals. Okay, so you ever had you guys are married, so if you guys had to collaborate with your wives, right?
Yeah,
You cannot have your own ideal.
yeah,
So for Harper, saying this is a battlefield of ideals. And then she says, but the way she touches and the way it feels. That's a reference to
yeah,
love, and all that good stuff. Um, maybe must be just how it heals. Ah, but it's got a little better since I let her sun dance. So kind of like let her go.
yeah,
Like it's divorce, right?
yeah.
I never know what time of year it is living on top of the fire, but the robin outside has to hunt and hide in the cold and frosty Shire. That's a reference to his home. That's
Mm.
become cold and frosty Shire. A reference, I think, to, I mean, I don't know.
Tolkien?
I always think of Tolkien. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Shire, the home. But he knows that what goes on between his cold toes. You ever had cold toes?
No.
It's
Cold
uncomfortable.
feet.
Cold
I
feet.
don't. Being yeah,
Yeah.
not
But
wanting to
and he
like.
has warm ears, and he says he's got no disguise in his eyes for his love as she nears. So it sounds it, and look, he spreads her a shelter. She takes the tall skies, in a reference as a helter skelter. I don't even know that phrase, helter skelter.
Yeah,
He
and they're in
knows.
Abbey Roads.
Yeah, yeah, along the same size. She wakes my days with a glad face. She fakes and says I'm a hard case. This is a breakup divorce song. This sounds very much like Sad Eye Lady of the Lowlands. Um, but and actually kind of pretty. And she knows me well. But what the hell? Only time can tell where we're going to. And then me and my woman. Like,
Yeah.
okay, first half. Uh, okay,
Second
good.
half.
Good.
Yeah.
Second half, then we're introduced to. All right. Okay. So, Roy, you're getting through a divorce. It's saying how he feels. Not sure, Cheech, if you identify with someone because you've been through this
Yeah, sure.
experience.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Where he says again, but he knows just what goes on between his cold toes, right? Cold feet.
Yeah.
He's getting cold feet in whatever relationship or marriage he's in. and his warm ears, but his ears are warm. Um, and again, I think this is a reference to like, he's conflicted because at the one hand, this woman makes him feel good, but
Sure.
carnal pleasure.
Yeah,
But the place he's in is a cold and frosty shire.
yeah.
So, and that's why he has
Not
cold toes.
he's not
If
happy.
you ever have cold toes, most people don't like that. They like to be under a blanket.
Yeah,
So there's that. But then, um, and he's very intense. Me and my woman, like, okay, great.
yeah,
At the 4 minute mark, I think. Then he says, and the Lord speaks out, and the pigpen's fawn. The sword slides out, and the nations mourn. The horde strides out, and the chosen spawn. The devil out, and the heavens yawn. And he knows me well. Ah, but what the hell? Only again, this is another strange. Now he's getting kind of like very poetical.
yeah,
This is where he starts to get a little like, okay, what?
yeah,
And then as he keeps going, then it's like two halves here. You have at the one hand, you have this relationship that is falling apart. Um, but then, and very sneakily, this is where it gets really, it's kind of like really heavy poetry. It's an pro Earth, pro Green anthem,
yeah,
but Roy Harper style.
yeah.
It just when it like someone who's never heard of Harper, like and they put the song on, they're gonna be like, "What am I listening to?"
It warned. I have it's a question about human longevity. What are we doing on the planet? It warns us of our environmental collapse, driven by pursuit of wealth and power, using relationship as a lens to view the wider social questions. So does that makes sense now since
I
you
think
did the
so.
lyric? Yeah,
I think so, especially when he says not. He kind of, I think what he's doing is in the context of this failing, broken relationship or marriage. In it, one of his ideals is saying how perhaps we were meant to be free, like a bird or like a stormcock,
yeah,
and perhaps men, like I'm not just generally speaking, just from the song, like he's saying what we really do is we have to have an ideal, and maybe it's worth collapsing a marriage. So his ideal is pro saving the earth. I
yeah,
think that's where the transition in the song happens. Because he says here, what a mess we make, what a trust we break, not giving our wings to our children. Oh, how we fail them. Oh, how we nail them. A reference to crucifixion. Sunset my color and king is my name. Darkness, she's my lover, and we live in shame. Too far away from the light of day. Can I break through the silence that has taken my place on the plains of the morning that I just could not face? Asking you these questions, telling you these lies. He's kind of like mixing everything. Enveloping directions, developing disguise. So yeah, very confusing song. Like it's very dense. It's complex. A lot's going in here.
yeah.
A lot.
It's one of
It
the
also is
first.
kind of ranty too. Kind of ranty.
Yeah,
It's a stream of consciousness too.
Very stream of consciousness. Yeah.
I
he
have
repeats lines. He finally repeats lines.
oh
Me and
yeah.
my woman, me and my woman, me and my little woman. Or the part where he goes, dead on arrival, right where I stand. Dead on arrival, right where I stand. Dead on arrival, right where I stand. And he repeats it further down below.
Well,
Multiple.
that's coming from his romantic poets like Keats and Shelley. You know, they would do
That's
stuff
what
like
it
that.
is. That's what it is. It's a Keatsian, Shelleyan, I made those words up, but Shelleyan poetry.
Yeah,
Because again, he's saying here, also a little bit of and this was actually on the Rage. You know how children represent innocence? We were talking
yeah,
about the Blind Faith cover, album cover, for example. Like
yeah,
that's what Harper's trying to do here. So his solution is we need to go back to nature. And me and my woman, perhaps he wants another form of symbolic woman, Earth,
yeah.
right? That I think it's like that
Oh,
return,
Mother Earth.
Mother Earth. I think that's another like sneaky reference
I
here.
think we just kind of figured it out.
Yeah, because he says in the landscapes, my next meal, I need my own Good Friday. What is Good Friday? And what's Good Friday, Cheech?
When Jesus got crucified.
He's saying, I need my own Good Friday. He wants to create his own ideals. So he's saying here, and I'm trying my best to fix the deal, the marriage deal. Dead on arrival, right where I stand. And then this is a line he keeps repeating, dead on arrival. Right. It's poetry. It's very Keats, very
Yeah.
intense, very
Yeah.
romantic, not love, the old
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Sort of like a Caspar David Friedrich painting. And he says here, I am the new crowned landlord. Right? He's saying like, I need my own Good Friday. So it's
Yeah.
very, very, very like um very not full of himself. I'm trying to look for the right word here. I am the new crown landlord of all beneath my star, queuing up for doomsday in my homesick motor car because he's been kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
So it's like sort of like another anthem. Like he's
Yeah.
got nowhere to go. He's literally a bohemian. There's another bohemian anthem.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
and
have something
good.
where he fused together moving through contrasting moods and lyrics.
Yeah, it's poetry. It's Keats. You really
Yeah.
got to dig this because um another great line here. The cuckoo, she moves through the dawn fanfare. The dew leaves the roofs in the magic air. I feel a finger running through my nightmare's lair. I feel most together where my nowhere stare. Yeah, it's like heavy poetry.
It is. He's a poet. He could be
He's a poet. He
he should
he
be known for his well, that's what he wanted to be originally, a poet.
Actually, I didn't know that.
If you listen to his very first album, it's all spoken word. Like his first album he ever made is spoken word and like a little and a little bit of guitar and stuff. So that's what his main goal was to be a poet, I think, and as well, as a great musician that he is, but poetry is one of his first loves.
Mm.
But could he have made a living at it? Probably not. But as a
No,
folk singer, he could. He probably would have had to been like become an academic. I mean, and work at a college.
I don't even think John Keats made a living at it back
I
in
don't
the
think
day.
they did. I think they died destitute.
He
Like,
did. Shelley made a living at it, but
it's
not
like it's
Keats.
like he chose like the poet. Actually, Jethro Tull has an interesting thing to say about that. And Thick as a Brick, with the poet.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but he calls those people that don't understand his poetry like thick as a brick. You guys are dumb.
Oh, he's talking to me then. He's singing to me.
Uh, he's
I
talking to
mean,
somebody.
very few poets made a living in their time doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until after they died
Right.
is when they became famous.
Me and
Oh,
my
like
woman,
Jim
it's a
Morrison.
divorce of nature. That's what the song's about.
Yeah,
It's a romantic, it's like that sensual, intimate connection one has with mother. Now, I don't have that, but I guess Roy Harper does. He has a hard on for nature, and
yeah,
clearly he's talking about his relationship with nature as a divorce. But symbolically, it's us, the human race. That's what the
right.
song's about. It's actually not even about the relationship per se.
No,
And I think that's why now the Shire, I gotta understand if that's a Tolkien term. What I understand is
I
that
think it's just an English term for home.
is it, does anyone know?
I'm going to look it
That
up.
might be my
Anybody
guess.
English out there? My
Fuck
bollocks.
off, then.
You fuck off your lads, you banging,
You fucking
you
bollocks.
you fucking yanks. But yeah, this is a divorce of nature song. It's very I would argue it's like James Joycean. It's very stream of consciousness. It's
Yeah,
like, and the way I would see it, like I love poetry, Joe. So like I do have a soft spot for this, but
Yeah.
I never know what kind of day it is on my battlefield of ideals. But the way she touches and the way it feels, sensuality, must be just how it heals nature. Ah, but it's got a little better since I let her sun dance. And Sundance is actually kind of interesting because I always think about like what that image is implying, like Sundance, like
yeah,
dancing, right? Dancing in the sun. Um, and he's letting nature Sundance, returning
yeah.
to that, right? Gazing, and he says, I never know what time of year it is living on top of the fire, right? So again, it's like a very complex poetic song.
Yeah. It could be like Ulysses, in a sense. Yeah.
A shire is basically an English county.
Okay, I didn't know that. So okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
so.
Like
Or like Westchester.
yeah, or examples like
You,
Cheshire,
you live in the
Lancashire,
Shire?
Oxfordshire, Shropshire, and Worcestershire.
Oh, wait. I didn't know that. But dude, I just remember something from my religion studies, Sundance. It was a religious Indian dance too.
Yeah.
I returned to that sort of but more American. I mean, I'm not sure about England. Um, it was like its own prayer. But yeah, this is Harper's very romantic plea to perhaps it's a divorce from nature song. Not really about his relationship, but it's hidden in there.
But it's a metaphor.
It's a big metaphor. Now the divorce is in there because at the time he
Yeah.
expressed all his frustration, anger in this, but then his ideal was, but I don't love my woman. Me and my woman's actually nature. I love nature more.
The woman is nature. He loves her more.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius. My God.
Keats. It's Keats.
Total Keats.
Vocally, his voice kind of flutters a little bit on there. I think Ian Anderson listened to this song many, many times.
Oh yeah.
It's obvious. It's obvious. Ian Anderson took a lot from him.
Elongations. Yeah. Um. So it's a love letter to Earth. Harper uses a relationship as a metaphor for humanity connection to Mother Earth. He questions our purpose on the planet, contrasting the simple beauty in nature with the mess we make through our greed and power. You know, so that was a good analyzation, Manny, of the lyric.
It's complex, but
Music,
you've got to like Keats' poetry, though.
yeah,
It's
Keats and
complex.
Shelley.
Yes.
Um, and there is a flow of consciousness that's
Yep.
all over there.
Yep.
That you have to like know poetry to know what that is. You
Mhm.
know. This is interesting because David Bedford does orchestrations on this, so he collabs with this guy David Bedford.
Even the Baroque edge.
Yep, the 13-minute acoustic epic. It pushes the boundaries of folk music, musically divine by interplay of Harper's complex guitar work and David Bradford's massive arrangements. So, three-song structure. The Baroque verse, number one, it has a medieval or chamber music feel, prominent brass and woodwinds, French horns and flutes. They weave around his voice in creative, melancholic atmosphere. The sweeping chorus. When the chorus hits, the music shifts into a romantic style. Bedford uses his big sections of strings, operatic arrangements to create a sense of vast open space. Third point, interludes between the vocal sections and music settles into a quiet, finger-picked passage. I love that part. That invokes the nature of the English countryside. You know that part I'm talking about where it gets really quiet?
Hmm.
Um, Guitar mastery. The track is incredible, intricate. He has open tuning in a percussive rhythmic style that keeps the 13-minute runtime from feeling straight and stagnant. He shifts time signatures, moving from steady folk to rapid fire, complex picking. The layering Roy layered multiple guitar tracks to create thick wall of sound that could stand up against a full orchestra. Studio wizardry, haunted quality in his voice he achieves through the studio's famous echo chamber at Abbey Roads. Vocal overdubs. Roy sang all the harmonies himself. He created a choir of himself that gives him an effect with emotional impact in the song. The climax, the music builds toward the crashing finish where the orchestra and Roy's guitar read a fever pitch to the final minutes. The sonic representation of a mess we make, ending with a powerful lingering orchestra fade out. So that's my analyzation of that song.
Mm.
Any comments? Or I know it's like exhausting, right?
No, I'm good.
Quite an album.
I mean,
It's so easy to listen to, but so difficult to interpret.
I
Very.
like the arrangements. that he put on it, which is different for him.
Yes.
You know,
Well, that was
MC.
because of Alan Parsons, right?
no, David Bedford.
David Bedford.
He brought in an arranger.
He did the orchestrations.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
that's the most different thing on the album. He doesn't do that at all. You know.
I actually have notes on David Bedford that from 1969 to 1981, he was the composer in residence at Queen's College in London.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Wow.
And he taught music in a number of London secondary schools.
Wow.
Yeah. Studied music at the Royal Academy of Music.
So did Rick Wakeman, yeah. They
Yeah.
all and Jack Bruce.
And apparently, this David Bedford would conduct orchestras during Harper's concerts.
Wow.
So there were times he must have had ensembles behind him. And, it wasn't just him with a
Right.
guitar.
He's a genius, man.
No,
Roy, to the people out there, listen to Roy Harper. This is our point. Our point is to get Roy Harper's music out to everybody who doesn't know who he is,
what,
appreciate his music, his finger picking, his rhythmic, his musicianship, his prog acoustic, and his lyrical content that's heavily influenced by Keats and Shelley and the Beat Poets, Kerouac. Manny, anything else you want to add to the lyrics and
well,
what I
I
said?
was gonna say, there is a poem by Keats. It sounds like Harper's lyrics. This is Keats. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us and asleep, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery. I mean, that sounds
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't know if you guys understand that. I mean, that's dense, but um, this is from a long poem called Endymion or Endymion, but yeah, so yeah, very like lyrically, this album is it is a masterpiece. It is a must listen to for
Hmm.
our viewers out there, especially because I feel like it is worthwhile seeing this very fearless artist who like one had a vision.
Yeah,
I think we have to respect that because he created a very landmark album.
yeah.
And clearly we can see the influence on other artists as well.
Oh, yeah.
And especially Jimmy Page. So if you're a Led
Well,
Zeppelin fan,
musically, Jimmy Page, and vocally, Ian Anderson.
right? You always hear that Ian Anderson took a lot from Roy Harper.
Yeah,
Um, and you could see it, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, album is complex, but musically it's actually pretty good. Very well
Amazing,
produced.
amazing.
Very well produced.
Yeah. So the last thing I have is the cover. I always like to talk about the cover.
It's just like a photograph of him like laughing.
Yeah, it's really nothing. High contrast black and white portrait of Harper was taken by photographer Richard M. Emery. It captures Harper in an intense schematic look to match the album's
Wait,
serious,
wait, Shamatic?
yeah, schematic, like a shaman.
Oh, shamanic. What?
Yeah,
Shamanic.
like a shaman.
Really?
I think that's the word.
He looks like he's coughing.
I mean, this is what I got when I did my
Really?
research.
That's interesting. Oh,
Um, look to match the album's serious, progressive tone. It is a simple picture. We all know what a stormcock is. I'll say it again. It's a missile thrush bird that sings loudly during a wet, windy, stormy day. It's a time when other birds are silent. It lets you know the storm is coming. And that's his career as a metaphor. He's the storm. He's, he's the bird that went through all the storms. And just to say, it's funny that this started as a joke, this album,
yes.
and now we finally did it. So we
It,
should be
it,
proud.
it
Like
started because
going back to the origins of this, Joe I don't know what we were doing with episode, but Joe had brought up Stormcock, and we kind of got little Beavis and Butthead on it, and and now we did it. That's amazing. Thank you, Joe. It's
That is
all
amazing.
you know
And now we
because
we appreciate the album. It's like more than just a middle school joke. No, it's just funny because it is it started out as a joke. Like we were not taking serious. Well, Cheech, definitely you were laughing and like just going full Beavis and Butthead on it.
yeah,
Um, but we realized it is a great album. It's even the idea of a stormcock, that bird is pretty pretty cool.
yeah. I know.
Um,
It's such a unique bird.
yeah, and how it sings and warns of storms.
Yeah.
Um, made me listen to this album. I actually do appreciate it. It's actually really good. It's just that lyrically, it's dense. It's complex. I mean, for prog heads like us, I think we appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Especially for like you and I are like 2112 fans, so it's like
Oh yeah.
there's
Definitely.
nothing. But yeah, what started as a joke has now reached full fruition and completion, and we've done it. We looked at Stormcock.
We did it. I mean, it's just so funny how it started out, man. It's like a joke, and now we did the whole album. And now this is a part of a trilogy. So Stormcock, um, whatever happened to Jugular, and the Firm's first album. I'm gonna lead right up because now we're gonna add Jimmy Page more in the Jugular album. Jimmy Page and Roy Harper actually do an album together. That'll be the next album we do, and then eventually leading up to the Firm, which is just following Page's career,
Mhm.
so
It's
those
going
are
to go
the
even further than that, Cheech, because it's going to morph into a I'm sorry, a true crime episode regarding
oh
Carol Chessman,
that's
who was
right,
executed in 1960
I know which
that's
he
right,
started on the song
yeah,
with hors d'oeuvres
hors d'oeuvres.
about the judicial system. Yeah,
right,
it's interesting that apparently Roy Harper was in America and learned about Carol Chessman, who apparently wrote several books and was the subject of a movie,
yeah,
but was executed in 1960. I actually misspoke in the previous episode about Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard. I kind of got my chronology wrong because I had myself believing that Merle Haggard was in the front row at a Johnny Cash concert at Folsom Prison in 1968. And it wasn't Merle Haggard at that concert in 1968. It was an inmate named Glenn Shirley who wrote a song called Greystone Chapel that Johnny Cash actually learned the night before performing at Folsom Prison
Mm-hmm.
and sang the song, and it was recorded. So Johnny Cash, I think, tried to rehabilitate people that he came across that he thought, there would be a chance for them. And Glenn Shirley was that person
Mm-hmm.
for the Folsom Prison concert in 1968. Merle Haggard actually was influenced by Johnny Cash as an inmate in 1960, the year that Merle Haggard was released from prison. He saw Johnny Cash in concert at his prison, and
wow,
it was at San Quentin, where Merle Haggard met Carol Chessman, who was on death row for 12 years.
yeah. I'm gonna start writing that. And Chessman was not supposed to die. It was a mistake by the operator who did not get it to the gas chamber people because the governor of California said don't kill him. You
And, no,
know,
and that speaks on Harper's critique of the judicial system. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it's a
A woman messed up the phone number. It was within seconds he was supposed to live.
kind of makes you think, huh?
Yeah.
And a lot of people protested him. Even supposedly, I think the Pope, they all wanted him to live. But he did horrible shit though.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing, and that's why it's hard to. I mean, when we do the true crime episode, I think it'd be
yeah,
worthwhile to
because
see why he was in prison, because then how he became sort of like
a hero, like a like
he
a
became sort of like a hippie countercultural hero.
yeah,
Similar to a Manson, because Manson was a countercultural hero for a time. Like he was countercultural, and a lot of people are like,
yeah,
"Oh, okay, it's cool." Until he did, he did what he did.
yeah.
But a lot,
But what Chessman did, he, at the time, the horrible acts that he did was considered death penalty.
Yeah, but it
Uh,
wasn't murder, but it was related to a certain circumstance with kidnapping specifically.
yeah, yeah.
But he had been in and out of prisons his whole,
So
I
it
mean, he
wasn't
was,
like he was the wrong place at the wrong time, and he had a
I,
co-conspirator, he had a
I
partner.
think the problem is like the failure of what are we doing with this guy? Like, why is he jumping in and out of like different prisons? Why is he on death row for like 12 years?
Yeah,
Like, what is that's what Harper is saying. These people who eat hors d'oeuvres. Why haven't
hors
word
d'oeuvres.
hors d'oeuvres. So these people that cannot I can pronounce every complex word, but that hors d'oeuvres. He's critiquing these people, senator sons that eat
yeah,
fancy food. I eat hors d'oeuvres too. Like no, but that's Harper. Like it's a countercultural. He takes that as a starting point, and
Yeah.
then he just bashes also the critics who that they hated on our band Rush, right? Like Rolling Stone critics and even Zeppelin. The critics were not friendly towards Zeppelin.
oh no, no,
So Harper sort of I can see why Page respected him. Like
yeah,
he took a stand. He probably told Page F those critics. Like
yeah.
they don't
He didn't get depressed over bad reviews, this guy.
very similar to when Johnny Cash talked to Bob Dylan. And I remember in the
Yeah,
movie he goes like, F them. Do what you want. Right. You're a rebel.
yeah.
Like I
Right
get it.
before he went on stage.
Right, right. So
Yeah,
very
Yeah,
similar
that
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash was pretty badass kind of guy. I'm very surprised that given the fact that he had a problem with alcohol and he had a problem in his younger days with uppers to get up for a show, and then you drive through the night and everything, and then you need something, you need downers to get you down, so you could sleep. And he was had a very serious addiction to pills,
Hmm.
and I'm very surprised that the music business really was down on him around 1967.
Hmm.
And it's unbelievable that two prison records, so Live at Folsom Prison, Live at San Quentin, kind of rehabilitated his career to the point where he was given a national variety television program
yeah,
where
yeah,
he would invite guests like Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Neil Young, and
yeah.
they would come on and do their music. But and it's an interesting story about the middle finger with the classic poster, the photo that was done at San Quentin in '69. And I now know the story of why he did that was that there was a British film crew filming the concert, and Johnny Cash was about to start. I think "I Walk the Line" was the song, and he just said to the guys, "Could you please clear the stage?" Because there were cameramen on the stage, and they didn't. They held their position, and apparently one of the cameramen obstructed Johnny Cash's view of the audience, and that's what ticked him off.
Hmm.
That's why you have that's why you have the classic middle finger salute.
Wow,
He said, "Please clear the stage," and they didn't clear the stage, so he went off on them.
that's funny.
Yeah, and then he had a national television program, was a star all those years. I don't think he ever really kicked prescription drugs or the amphetamines, the downers, yeah,
I
painkillers.
wonder. And it's funny because I remember the movie, but the Walk the Line movie, but I don't. Obviously, it's a movie, so not that accurate. Also, he sang on Bob Dylan's Nashville Skyline,
He did.
"Girl from North Country." I mean, and he had a resurgence in with Rick Rubin, those
Oh
records.
God, he did a Nine Inch Nails cover.
Yeah,
He resurfaced. I mean,
Wow, I
this
forgot about
dude,
that.
this
yeah.
dude is
From what
legend.
I've read, Johnny Cash was clean for many years, but then he had jaw surgery of some kind. It's very serious surgery, very painful, and he kind of got hooked on painkillers again towards the end of his life. But I thought it was interesting that live at San Quentin, he opened the show with "Wanted Man" by Dylan.
Mm.
So he opened, that it was recorded and released as the opening song on side one of Live at San Quentin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really messed up with the Merle Haggard and the Glenn Shirley, two people, and I morphed my. It's like it's almost like I had an AI moment as a human, you know, where I had like three different situations, uh, and I morphed it in or condensed it into two. And yeah, Merle Haggard actually had his first national hit around 1964, and he'd been out of prison for years. Whereas Glenn Shirley, as a songwriter, you talk about Cheech, rappers recording, songs and rap tunes on their
Mhm.
phones. This Glenn Shirley actually recorded songs, country music songs, in prison.
Well, yeah, wow. He did it
Yeah,
before the rappers.
yeah, because he wasn't released from prison until 1971,
Wow.
and he had, Johnny Cash had kind of made him famous, with Live at San Quentin. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Unfortunately, Glenn Shirley had a very sad life, whereas Merle Haggard saw what happened to Carol Chessman and other people that he knew who went and were executed. The fact that Chessman for 12 years was on death row with that hanging over his head. Merle Haggard said, "I'm going to straighten up." He had to because
Yeah.
he had been in and out of like juvenile delinquent detention centers and prisons up until
Well,
the 24. He had a rough time.
another thing about Chessman is his books saved him. Writing all those books in prison, I think,
Yeah,
got a lot of people on his side.
Hmm.
You know, those because those books that he wrote all those years in prison got people to believe him innocent in his story and everything. But it's going to be a fun one to write. It's going to be challenging. But I love how we get these little nuggets out of things. How Stormcock started a song about Chessman. Leading into these Johnny Cash stories. It all these things compile up. It's amazing how we do this stuff.
Hmm.
yeah,
But
yeah.
thanks again, Joe, for being on the show. Because
Okay.
I know your team's about to play. Go Knicks!
All right. Yeah. And happy birthday, Cheech.
Thank you
Yesterday
very
was a
much.
big day.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday to the People's Basis.
Thank you so much.
We'll try to get the Temple to give you a Stormcock record.
Oh yeah. Thank God no one said anything. I don't
Go
know. I don't
down
know
there,
what.
go to the priest's office, and be like, "Yo, can I get my
You
Stormcock,
know
please?"
what's crazy? They post your birthday, but they don't post your last name anymore.
I know.
Huh.
That makes
Doesn't make
no
sense.
sense. And they should post. I don't mean. I don't know if you want your picture. You know, it's funny. Ernest was the one that saw that, and he wanted you to drink you with Maria and Hector or something.
Oh, what? The other night.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, I love Ernest. Shout out to Ernest. He's the best. Ernest is the best. I love you,
He
Ernest. Good
never he
kid.
never minds the Bollocks.
He really, yeah, good
I,
good
I,
guy.
I like the background, but behind Manny, he's got the background, but we can't see we can't see the
No,
above
Sally
your
like
torso.
cropped out this dude's face, but
Yeah.
look at him, man. We got the bass playing.
That's the people's bassist, isn't it?
Yep, I know
People's
that
bass is
bass.
up in here.
Spent a lot of time with that thing.
I think
Um,
Bobby's about to get MC right now.
yeah. But anyway, great episode. We did it. We got through Storm
Stormcock.
Talk.
Wait, so
What?
so for all of us, it's a must listen, right?
Oh, most definitely. But you don't have to be as crazy as we are.
No, no, no.
You
I feel
know.
like everybody out there, stop. Actually, don't watch this episode. Most likely they've already saw this. Go
Yeah.
listen to Stormcock first, and then if you want to find out more, then watch our episode.
Just listen to it as music. And if a lyric
Yes.
touches you, a piece of music hits you with finger picking or Keats
Maybe
line.
that's the magic of the album where you're supposed to listen to it as music first. You know how you listen to
Yeah.
the song of the song of the Stormcock
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
yeah.
storm? I think that's what ultimately like you don't have to mind the lyrics yet,
Yeah.
but then Roy Harper invites you, okay, like come.
Yeah. You don't gotta go all musicologist into it. Just
No, no,
just
we're
listen to it.
right. And again, it started as it's just so funny because I feel like nowadays most of us are okay, not gonna lie to you, that album title is gonna get a lot of laughs. I mean, so if I went to certain people, guys, do you guys mind if I put on Stormcock? Like,
Just when we put this up, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is Storm?
Storm,
What are they doing now? These
I'm gonna
guys."
title it Stormcock question mark.
Yeah, Stormcock.
Genius. But it
Richard
is a
gets
it
a
is a It is a genius album, and I think we learned. I
Make
think it's
sure you
Joe.
hashtag Ron Jeremy in this.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put his like official like YouTube page. And Ron Jeremy's gonna email you. Yo, can I be on the show,
Oh
Chief?
yeah, right.
I heard you dig Stormcock. No, not that Stormcock. No, but I think we realized that the album is genius. Harper's a genius, and it's gonna be great to jump 50, I'm estimating like 13, 15 years to Jugular to see
Yeah,
where he goes and
yeah,
return with Page's full collaboration in the 80s.
yes.
It's gonna be great. We should like do a quick compare and contrast.
That yeah, we
Um,
that's a great idea because
so
Jugular.
it's
I
like a
don't know how much
different,
I've sent you a bunch of songs. Like Hope is my favorite song because David Gilmour. Once again, people creep up. David Gilmour wrote it.
his
Then there's
friends.
this, yeah. Then there's a story where it was for Pete Townsend originally, and all this crazy stuff. But there's a lot of good songs on there. It's very '80s production, which is good and bad. But I think it's more good, than anything because you can hear. Um, he's got a full band. He's got Tony Franklin on bass. I forget the drummer's name, and it's really a great album. So except for the last song, Joe, it's a little creepy.
It's the most accessible one. I think I understand it.
Oh my
I
God.
understand the
No,
lyrics.
yeah, because it's very Dylan. It's a Dylan kind of song.
Wait, why is it creepy? I have to.
I, I gotta send it to you. It's a little weird, right, Joe? Would you
A
say
little
it's,
weird.
it's a little weird? Yeah, I don't know.
You would not
Something.
play it to the girls at the dorm.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
so you all right, Cheech, you heard that? Don't put it on.
No, this one kind of, I was like, what? As I'm analyzing it, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I know the Beatles did crazy things with Yellow Submarine, and I know Dylan, everybody gets stoned, but this one is pretty insane. I'm,
That's a lot coming from a Roy Harper album.
it's actually funny. It's that English dry humor you're talking about is in the
Right,
song.
right, right.
Um, but
All
anyway, guys, go Knicks. And thanks again, Joe. This was amazing. We did a lot. All of us put a lot of research into this. We did a lot of talking about this album, and hopefully, everyone out there will be a Roy Harper fan and appreciate Stormcock. And just a great episode, guys.
Thanks, Cheech. It was
Thank
fun.
you. Awesome.
You'll always remember this birthday as the Stormcock birthday.
Yeah, it's your
Yes,
Stormcock birthday,
it's my
dude.
Stormcock birthday. Where's my pet Stormcock? You should have told me that, Manny. I'll know when it's gonna rain.
Oh
I'll just
man,
I'll keep him in a cage by my window. And do I need an umbrella today? Or not,
your Stormcock is gonna sing.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought that Stormcock was a symbol of defiance.
I think it's clear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think
Or
so.
him. It's him going through the industry. How he
He's a Stormcock.
survived.
No.
He's a Stormcock. His voice is loud through the storms of his career. And there was a lot of stormy moments.
Yeah.
And we're just at the beginning. This is 70, what? What year was this again? 71?
71?
71.
Yeah.
A little album called Led Zeppelin 4 or Zoso or the Runes album would come out in December of that year.
Yeah.
It's
But
incredible how that album comes
A
out.
little
Like,
later.
all the time.
he did find success with that Paul McCartney song, which I can't think of the name.
All right.
Another Day in England.
Yeah, it charted. It definitely charted.
It's very catchy, and I think McCartney had more impact on the music than just
Yeah.
doing the backing vocals with
But
Linda.
it just goes to show you how popular he was to have Paul McCartney on the
I
on
know.
that
Well,
on
Paul
a track.
McCartney always has good taste in artists, especially
Yeah.
even his collaborations with like Michael Jackson. I think are pretty good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ebony and Ivory. As cheesy it might be, it's a great
Oh,
song.
that's Stevie Wonder.
Oh wait, no.
That's a
Oh
good
wait.
one too.
What is the song with McCartney and Mike?
The Girl Is Mine and Say.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Say,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
say,
yeah.
say what you want, but
That's what I'm
don't.
thinking of.
Like always, McCartney he always has that nice that that's stick with Roy Harper. He needs to collaborate with people,
Yeah.
and he just like explodes, like but yeah, guys, this is really fun. I learned a lot. Appreciate
Yep.
Stormcock as an album.
Yep.
Definitely a classic album. If you're gonna listen to one Harper record, I think this might be it.
This is the one.
And
Yeah.
love it. Come back to us with and we'll tell you what happened to Jugular. I think
Definitely.
you guys don't mind. But guys, this was a lot of fun. Thank you,
Awesome.
Joe. Cheech, thank you for your research
Thank you.
and knowledge.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Manny.
And
You got
happy
all the.
birthday, man.
Thank you. And Nanu.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.